Oh, hello everybody. How are we doing today? Hello YouTube crowd. I just woke up, so hey Betty Brands, how's it going? Nope, that was just someone who scrolled by. That's okay. Mini VDM, how's it going? Feeling black and white, good to see ya. And a banana 4-1, I know you. How's it going? Well, I don't know if I know you, but I've seen you around. Yeah. Yes. Yes, give me 1 second, Anna. I woke up and I don't think I felt hungover. I think it's one of my neighbors who's hungover, but I'm just like, I didn't drink, so. Be Divine, how's it going? It's Stella, how are you doing? Good morning. Oh my god, give me 1 second, guys. I'm almost ready. Okay. I think I need to push these to a later time, like at 10 a.m. for me, because I'm like, now that I'm adjusted to sleeping at night, I'm like, oh, now 8 a.m. is early, I guess, for me. Okay. All right, so. Okay, let's go. Anna Banana, let's go. First reading of the day. Okay. Okay. Let me set some intentions really quickly. Okay. First thing I do here, Anna Banana, for one, is that you are on the right track. I think, here's an interesting message. I feel like your potential is skyrocketing, and I find that an interesting message because I feel like, I don't know, that's what they're saying. So hopefully that makes sense for you. So what does that mean? Because I pulled this card, Archangel Raziel, seeking you will find, be a wise one. But I heard learning is important right now. If you have any endeavors you want to undertake, learning more about it, or studying your A off about what you want to do could be important. I do feel like you actually are acquiring wisdom as well. I think in a lot of ways life has been teaching you. I feel like this is a thing for a lot of people, but I feel like there's a new phase or a next phase coming for you in the fall, this autumn. So keep an eye out for that. What else is coming through for you? I would definitely, if there's certain temptations that you've been wanting to give into, I would not, I would say, it's probably okay if you want Laffy Taffy, if you have a Laffy Taffy, but if you're tempted to do something destructive, maybe don't. That's not an exact example, but they're just kind of saying don't give in to temptation. So certain temptations that are detrimental, just stay away from those. But I think I do get the message create anew. So I don't know if starting over is the right phrase, but I think you'll find yourself creating things anew in the nearest future here, or the future up here, where it's just more I don't want to say starting over, but it's maybe redoing, or just kind of starting from scratch in certain ways. Not totally though. They're stressing not totally. So if you had a project and you're I'm deleting it, don't do that. But I think in a weird way, I feel like you're not a sun like S-O-N, but S-U-N. You're a sun for a lot of people. So be the bright you that you be. I do feel like you're healing a lot, so I feel like you got that in the bag, or you're starting to get that in the bag. What else is coming through? I do feel like you're going to be abundant. We have Archangel Charity popping out here too. I feel like you will be abundant, honestly. What else is coming through that would help you? I feel like you know what you're about, honestly, Anna Banana, in a lot of ways. I feel like I would stay the course in a lot of ways too. I don't feel like you're greedy, but for some reason they were saying don't be greedy, so maybe that's for someone here. I hope that helps. Hopefully that my hey, I just woke up reading was good there. Still getting the messages. Okay, let's see. How are we looking in chat? Hey, Lily Awesomeness. Good morning, Blue Rod. feel like I want more coffee, but I already had an American. Oh, maybe get some matcha. Morning, Sign of Moon Girl. How are you doing? Okay. Thank you so much, Arachne Crane. Scrolling through lives and everyone's drinking their coffee together. Happy Sunday. Mini VDM, I feel anything I need to work on this coming week. What I hear is like one, being you, like really stepping into you, but also not taking anyone's crap. Hey, Texas Jess, how's it going? I see you're there. That is what I get for you as far as things to work on. I don't know. I feel like you're a great being already, but I would also just, be kind. They said be kind. Anything else specifically? I'd also put your best foot forward this week. Like, even if you don't think you need to. I don't know why that's important, but just in certain situations, whether it's work or just meeting people. That's kind of what I get for you, Mini VDM. Anything else explicitly for things to work on this week? Ooh, I don't want to pull from the Dragon deck, so let's do that. Dragon deck. I think I need to pronounce the E a little bit more pronounced when I say that. Hope that came across in the audio as deck when I said Dragon deck. Okay, anyways. Anything else for you to work on today as I pull this card? Take action is one thing I'm getting with this card, is take action. So I really wouldn't hold back either this week. I think like there's projects or like just chores or things you need to get done. Just kind of take it head on. I think, I feel like it'll be a pretty chill week overall though, is what I get for you. So that is what I get for you. Okay, so hope that helps. Hope that helps. Sorry, Moon Girl. I feel like my friendships are struggling. Why? I feel like in a way they can't keep up with you, if that makes sense. I would hold space because I think they'll be back around, but everyone's changing right now, yourself included. And they are too, but maybe to a lesser degree. So you might find yourself like you evolving into new relationships or just holding space for old relationships to transform in the near future if no news coming in, but I do feel like new people are coming in, if that makes sense. Sign of Moon Girl. It will get better. I think it's just like, I feel like some of it's just a fluke too. Like they are saying fluke. So let's see when will it get better? I would give it a month. I know a month is like why 30 days? But I understand. At the same time, I think I would take a step back and let them be how they're being, and just kind of let the situation transform. Excuse me. They are showing me like 3 of Cups in my mind's eye, so I feel like a lot of you guys will like kind of come back together. But I do feel like right now you kind of need some you time as well. I hope that helps. It will get better. Okay, back to the Q&A. Jesse Lovato. Will I be moved out before my next birthday? I feel like it would be a stretch for some reason. It's possible, but I kind of get a no, honestly. As far as like, will you be moved out by your next birthday? I do get you need to find the right place. So make sure it's a good fit, it's in your budgets, etc. It will show up pretty soon after your birthday, if not before, though, is what I get. So hang in there. The right place is coming. Hope that helps you. Be divine, general, please. Yeah. I know I just talked to you over the phone this past week. By the way, Be Divine, moderator here. Really fantastic person. I loved chatting with Be Divine. I could say it's an honor to have her here as just a good person, bringing good energy to the chat and to the lives. So I wanted to say I appreciate you, Be Divine. So Anyways, first card out, Archangel Gabriel's Dragon. Brings purification, self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's Diamond. And I think I already mentioned this to you, but they're saying you're not the same person. And this has been coming through for a lot of my readings I've been doing, where it's like a lot of people have transformed a lot, where they're not the same person that they were like a while ago. For Be Divine, I think you're like in the middle of an upshift. I can't remember if I said that or not to you, but it feels very familiar. But and I know like a lot of people are, but this is just a reminder. You're in the middle of an upshift. I think like the other reminder is you are pure. You're someone who came in with a lot of purity, actually, is something I'm hearing. So in a lot of ways, one thing you do is you show people what it's like to be pure, just in your approach to life and how you treat others and how you do your best to be the best version of you, most of the time at least. I would not be afraid to transmute things. I think like also another thing you're here to do, a lot of this life is just transmute things. I think like you're a natural transmuter based on what I'm hearing. I feel like you don't take people's crap. Maybe you used to, but I think like not anymore, or you just won't at a certain point. But you're just transmuting a lot of things around you right now, so keep that in mind. It's definitely time for change. In a lot of ways, you're just preparing for takeoff. But it's like, I think it's etheric and physical. The visual they're showing me, is like it's like you're transmuting things, but it's like you have a ramp in front of you, and I don't know. You know those gym scooter things? They're like little platforms with the 4 wheels. It's like plastic, and it's like they're like yellow or blue or whatever. And you'd sit on these things and scroll around, like roll around with your legs. Like usually backwards, probably. I don't know. They're like little stools on wheels. I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like you're belly first on the stool on wheels, and you're about to go off this ramp, and you have this like. They're showing, you know, those squirrel suits that fly, like with the GoPros, and you like fly around in the squirrel suits. Thanks, Nicole Thames, for the roses. I don't know. It's just like you're like transmuting things to create this ramp to like take off. And it's a very interesting visual, but I think it's just like hitting new highs. I think like, let's see. New gifts and abilities are coming in for you, if that makes sense too. So that's something to look out for. I do feel like you're healing others around you. Oh my gosh, Nicole Thames, thank you for this gigantic mass of roses. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. But they're saying, you're healing others around you. I think any type of healing work you're going to do is going to be amplified soon, is also another interesting message I'm getting for you, Be Divine. So keep that in mind. I'm also getting a message like fan the flames of your soul, which is just like keep that fire alive, keep your drive going if you feel like you need that. I feel like your passions are coming in, like, yeah, and we had this volcano off in the background I flipped to right when I said that. Aaron Fire Dragon expands your creative energies, harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm, communicate your passion. So I feel like a lot of passion is coming in, so it's like a lot of the things you were born to do are just like, you've done it kinda, but it's like, you're going to have a full opportunity to do it, and that's going to be a big like uptick in life, if that makes sense as a message. But I hope that makes sense. But they're showing me like this dragon has like angel wings, and they're saying to be the angel that you be. So that's what I get for you. I hope. Anything else? Yeah, I feel like you're getting an upshift. Source Dragon. Tunes you to the infinite. Be still in the silence. Magic can happen. Be in the moment. So I hope that helps, Be Divine. You're welcome. Da-da-da-da-da. Hold on. I need coffee. I need 1 second. Hello. Mia Jonker 3. Should I become a vlogger? Will it become successful? I get, it's a good idea. I think it will be fun. I get, I feel like it can be successful long term. I feel like, you'll have to make adjustments and tweaks as you go, as you kind of learn like who's your audience and like what are they about. I feel like it's worth doing because it will teach you a lot, because you'll get the video editing, you'll get a lot of skills and abilities that way, and it will prepare you for a lot of future endeavors you want to do as well, is something I'm hearing as well. So I'd say worth a shot is the message. I think I would let it evolve because you'll want to do other things too. So anything else I should say? Anything else that would be highest and best for me and Junkers to know about the vlogging thing? There are other options for you. I feel like because you want to do this, I would do it. Does that make sense? There's no reason not to. And you know what? You can always like change directions or trajectory. But you're an interesting cat, so like you got things to talk about. That's what they're saying, so wouldn't worry about that. All right, what's next? Getting tipsy nails. Any guidance today? Your book is amazing. Thank you. That's awesome. Sorry. You know, we could make this. No, I was gonna make a joke, but my guys are like, that's a bad joke, so I'm not gonna make the joke. Getting tipsy nails. Any guidance today? Your book is amazing. First of all, thank you so much. I am super grateful for that. And I am working on another one, but you know, thanks so much. I do have, this is the book, Spirit Guides, Angels, and Speaking with Source. It's available in my link in my bio, the link tree, second link down if anyone's interested. But it's pretty much about like how to talk to your spirit guides and you know, hone your other gifts. And there's just a lot of other the whole thing's channeled for the most part. So, and I literally tell people what's not channeled in the book. So, anyways, okay. So I flipped a card for me. This is what I get for you as I flip open this deck here. Prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. Open your hearts to warm-hearted love and diamond light. Connect with the love of the universe. Rose pink dragon. So I think like, I feel like there's a lot of love coming in for you. And I feel like this is going to surprise you. And this is like next month, I want to say, or soon to next month. It's like people around you. It's like, I really feel like you've been doing a lot of work on you. And I feel like you've been wanting to approach life better. And you will, is the message I'm getting. And a lot of this self-work does lead to more love. Self-love, love from others around you. So that's one thing I'm getting for you, is like, love in various facets will be flowing to you, if that makes sense. I do think, in a lot of ways. So we have Air Dragon. I feel like you're being uplifted above a lot of your current circumstances in the physical. Air Dragon helps you rise above earthly matters, communicate honestly, brings inspiration and hope to see life from a higher perspective. So like I kind of get the visual as like, it's like birds or like doves or spirit, you know, just kind of coming in to try and lift you up. I feel like in a way it's kind of like as they raise you up, it's like your feet are still kind of dragging along this path, and it is what they're showing me. So let's see. I think I feel like as long as you're putting in some type of effort, you'll be fine. Getting tipsy nails. That's kind of the message I get for you here, because it's like when these this is the visual I get. It's like you're walking in this dirt path and these birds come to lift you up by the shoulder, and like they're kind of like dragging you by your feet, because like you're uplifted but your feet are still dragging. So as long as you're like at least kind of trying to walk, it's like the flight goes a lot smoother and you kind of get more of an uplift with with spirit carrying you. So as long as you're putting in like at least minimal effort, I think you'll be okay for a time. I know sometimes you hit those like points in your life where you're like, what do I do? But just show up, just do your best right now. They're showing me 8 of Pentacles in my mind's eye. I would keep either building for the future, or just like anything you're working on, keep working on it, because there's payoff on the way. If it's not this year, it's next. If there's anything long term you're working on, I feel like your path is the Deep Blue Dragon keeps you safe by clearing your path. I do get your path is cleared and like ready to go is what I'm getting. So I think part of what you're seeing is there's a new trajectory unfolding, new to you at least, unfolding for you. And I think it's going to surprise you how things start to come in for you, is really what I'm getting. I feel like there's like new on the way, new things on the way, new people, and it's just like, but it's kind of like out of nowhere. So I hope that makes sense. I just feel like that's kind of like what's coming in. I do feel like the past is being released. Fire Dragon here, which is burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. That's 2 cards on protection there. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. I wouldn't worry. And I would also stand in your truth and stand in your power. That's another thing I'm getting. So yeah, I think there's one more thing they want to say. I feel like that's the gist of the message, honestly, based on what I'm getting here. Anything else for you? Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna sound silly, but they're just like, don't do anything dumb. So don't do anything dumb. Getting tipsy nose. You're not like that, anyways. But you're a smart cookie. You're definitely a smart cookie. But I hope that helps. All right. Pathic Wonder, where can I find that stick? So this is, so I have 2. I don't know how I ended up using all these decks by Diana Cooper, but for some, because there's a lot of things she'll say in like the card book where I'm like, that's not my truth, but that's like not what I get. So my truth, I know like truth gets like to be an interesting topic because you'll hear people say my truth, but I feel like there is truth and there's what you get, but then there's also like, I don't know, I'm still sitting with that. But anyways, these are both by Diana Cooper. You can find them both on Amazon, and I'm sure there's other shops you can find them on that aren't Amazon if you're like, no, not Amazon, which I understand. Oh my gosh. But so we have the dragon, literally it's dragon oracle cards for dragons, and then you're going to be very surprised. It's a very archangel oracle cards. So very simple names, but you know, if you just Google Archangel Oracle cards, Diana Cooper, or Dragon Oracle cards, Diana Cooper, you will find these boys. But I do like these decks. I feel like the messages flow, and I like dragons, I like archangels. How does it get any better than that? So there you go. That's where you find that. Pamela Mara, should I keep my kids at home this fall? Not necessary is what I get as a message. It will feel safer to you. I feel like they'll be fine either way, honestly. So it's kind of half and half. I know that's like not a good, I'm sure it fits with the situation, but really I do get it's kind of half and half. So like, I feel like if it feels safer to you, like go for it, but I don't feel like it's as huge a deal as like it may seem. So trust your gut on that one. I feel like it's safe, honestly. Yeah, I'm not getting like it's. They'll be fine if they go. I'm guessing this is about school, so I mean it's actually, I don't know if it's a guess, but no, don't tell me the names. I could build a small room with the decks I have, no space for more. I get it. I love, once you start like realizing like, oh, I could just order this deck off Amazon anytime or wherever, then it's just like, oh, it's only $20. I could spare $20, and then, you know, sparing a few $20 later, and you have, you know, a small fortune in card decks. Animana for one. At what age will I move to Europe? 20s, 30s? I do feel like it's later, so like the range I get is like late 20s, early 30s, but which really, I do feel like 30s is a bit more prominent as the age. And that might be better for you, excuse me, because you'll have more life experience under your belt. So hope that helps. But be patient with that. I think like it will unfold in the right time, and it is still a good move. Sir, I do not know you. Sir. Sorry, I get live requests. I don't know if that pops up for you guys on the screen, but like, if I start saying like, "Who are you?" That's that's what I'm talking about. Bell's Tales. Life's been improving. Heck yeah. What should my next move be? I would literally okay, Rose Pink Dragon. So this card popping out here. Rose Pink Dragon prepares your heart to connect with the higher process of the cosmic heart. Open your heart to warm-hearted love, and Diamond Light. Connect with the love of the universe. Honestly, what I hear with this card when I pull it is invite in everything you would like to see. Because it's like you have the momentum going. So it's kind of like while you have this ball rolling, like things are improving. Like start calling in like, okay, I'd really like to see this thing manifest and this thing. Like this is our like kind of the things I want next in life. Because that's going to start bringing your next moves to you, if that makes sense. So I know but I want to see if I get anything specific for a next move as well. But I do feel like that kind of is a good next move, because you're manifesting the next move, if that makes sense. Love is, if you're single, love is on the way, Bell's Tales. If not, I think it's just like, what's the move? Just bringing more love into what you do is also part of that. Interesting message. So I pulled this card. Blue Dragon from the Pleiades prepares you to accept source healing. Accept a heart activation, give and receive heart healing. And the message I heard was like, focus on your soul. And so I want to see exactly the specific message they want to bring through to clarify that. Focus on your soul. And I feel like you know what that means. It's like, what does my soul want? Like, what is my soul here to express through me? Like, what is my soul guiding me to? And like by soul, I do kind of mean like that higher, all-knowing part of you, if that makes sense. And I know, like, I feel like you talk to a different person, and soul means this to this person and that to that person, and then there's some weird quote from some self-help guru, and you're like, you just threw soul in there to make it sound good. So I understand that. There might be, I don't know, just go with your knowing of what soul means when I say that, and anyone else listening, because that's going to resonate for you in potentially different ways. But anyways, keep going with the message. Next move. Honestly, I would keep, if this has anything to do with choices you're making, I would keep the momentum going. I would call in what you want to see in your life. I would kind of ask, like, soul, what do you want next? Like, soul, like, where are we going? What's next? And I do want to try and bring through, your path is protected too. There might be like a few bumps, but like honestly, like gradual improvement is the name of the game for like the months ahead. And it's just kind of like you walk into a new life at a certain point, and it's like you were walking that way for a while, but then like there's like a sudden shift where it's like, oh, here we are. Like it all kind of arrives, if that makes sense. So keep going on that trajectory, because I'm really grateful to hear your life is improving. I want to see if there's anything specific else that would be good for you in those next steps. In a lot of ways, I feel like you know what to do, honestly. Like, I'm sorry if that's... but that's what they're saying, is you know what to do. So, anything else, guys? Just don't let anyone bring you down. I don't like the term toxic people, but you know what I mean when I say it, you know? Don't let toxic people get to you. I think, like, now's a good time to hold space for your growth, to do, like, any inner healing work you want to do, not to the point where you're just, like, putting life on hold, but just, like, paying attention to what you need day by day. I think in a lot of ways it's got to keep getting better. But it's like, if it backtracks for any amount of time, it's like, it's not backtracking. Like what they're showing me is, for a quick message for you, is it's more like a retrograde. So it's like, you know, planets, like they go forward and then it's like retrograde and they're like, no, and they go backwards. They don't actually go backwards, but from the perspective of the Earth looking at the planet from a telescope, it looks like it starts to go backwards, just the way the Earth rotates around the sun and yada, yada, yada. But then it moves forward again. So it's like the message I'm getting is like, if that happens, like you're not actually going backwards. It's just like, you're like being walked back to not relearn a lesson, but kind of just like oh my gosh, just to heal certain aspects more deeply so you can move forward in an even better way. So it's like you have more of a springboard or slingshot forward when that happens, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. That's what I'm getting though. So don't worry if like it seems like things like you have like a day where you're like, oh no, it's just about to launch you forward. So I hope that helps. Oh, okay. S.J. Campbell 2 asked, why is Marnie pushing me away? They do need space, by the way. I feel like they're pushing everyone away. It's not just you. So keep that in mind. I think I do get triggered. Something triggered them in a way that they don't like, obviously. I don't know if anyone really enjoys being triggered. Maybe you could kind of train your brain and stuff to be like, oh yes, triggering, my favorites, but I don't know about that. Anyways, I think they'll be back. They need a minute, and I think they're seeing a lot of quote-unquote toxic traits in them. I've been listening to some general readings and they talk about toxic, and so now I keep hearing toxic traits. I'm like, I don't like these words. I think sometimes it's just like, it just gives a very intense impression of things that people are working on healing. And I don't want it to be a judgment on them, if that makes sense. It's more about discerning, like, okay, this isn't very healthy for me and the people around me, as opposed to be like, you're toxic. So anyways, they're realizing things in themselves they want to change, and they're not sure how they want their life to look like, if that makes sense. So they're kind of pushing people away to try and change things. It's not really working because they kind of need to like change themselves a bit, and they'll come back around, but they need a minute. Does that make sense? I hope that helps and explains things. They'll be back. I don't have a doubt about that based on what I'm hearing. Okay, next question. Deja, not sure where I want to move out to. Does Source? In some ways, I do feel like Source is waiting for you to make a decision. Like definitely Source knows where you're probably gonna move. They were kind of shouting like try to stay around where you're at in that area as far as like moving out, which might not be what you want to hear, but I feel like the way things shift, you'll be glad you did, is something I'm hearing, Deja. So keep that in mind. Don't let that limit you. Don't let that keep you stuck in your hometown there. It's just like around that area, you know, like an hour out is fine. It's just like you move cross country. I would try to stay around town for a bit. For some reason, I feel like moving cross country would be like, why did I do this? And you can do that later. I think there's still people you need to meet in your area, Deja, for whatever reason. That's kind of what I'm getting there. And I do get, Sunshine Yellow Dragon here, and they're pointing my eyes to this little blue jay on the card, and that's a very like happy and what they're saying with the card is happy times are ahead. I definitely wouldn't move to Europe right now if that was your plan. I would kind of not move out of the country quite yet if you were wondering about that. I hope that helps, Deja. That's what I get. When it's time, you'll know. It's just gonna work out. Just don't move too far away is what I'd say for now. Tracy P. FLA 3 asked, should I relocate or not? Torn. Would it be in the highest good for them to relocate? Would it be in the highest good for them to not relocate? I would relocate, but be patient while you do so, if that makes sense. I think I would definitely let it develop and not try to force it, if that makes sense. I think the area you're at is good for now, will be for some time, but I don't feel like you're really meant to stay forever or for, the rest of your life. So for instance, should you relocate? Would it be the highest good for you to relocate? I do get like yes or like no yes for highest good to relocate, which is like an overall. The answer is more yes than no when I get a no than yes on my body pendulum. Should I relocate or not? Would it be the highest good for you to not relocate? No. So I feel like you gotta let it evolve a little bit more and then relocate is something I'm getting. But I do feel like ultimately the answer is to move or to relocate. I hope that helps. In a weird way, I feel like the old will just chew you up is a message I just heard. If you stay forever, that's like, don't feel the rush to leave just because I said that. But I just feel like in some ways the old was just gonna be, I don't know if that makes any sense to your situation. I hope that like makes sense to you, but that's what I'm hearing. So I hope that helps, Tracy. Woodland Wahine. Should I drive away in my van or stay here? I do get stay there for a bit. Don't rush away. I feel like in a way you might need supplies first before you drive away in your van. But I am getting stay, honestly, for now. Karen JH65. Should I go with the move I'm going to make this week? Would it be in the highest good for you? I get yes. I do feel like it's worth it. Would it be in the highest good for you to make the move? Yeah. Would it be in the highest good for you to not make the move? No. Yeah, I would go for it. Okay. Dun dun dun. All right, I'm gonna try and find a few older Q&A questions here. If they're, sometimes they're not always on my Q&A, but Julie Sai, very swaggy, asked, should I freelance or get another job? I would actually go for freelancing. We have Deep Blue Dragon, keeps you safe by clearing your pathway, trust that you're protected, walk on a path of light. I feel like another job might get you right back to where you are, if that makes sense. And we have this creativity card. This card is typically about creativity here, but Air and Fire Dragon, as well as passions and stuff. I would start freelancing like maybe on the side, unless you're just jobless right now. But freelancing is a yes. I feel like that'll actually be pretty good for you. If you need a job, get a job and freelance on the side until you can freelance full time. But for some reason they're saying not a job, so that's what I get. Hope that helps. Okay. Bone Skeletto. Hey, good to see you. I think I've seen you here before. Hello. What do I need to hear right now? Let's see. I do feel like you're gonna upgrade is something I'm hearing, but I feel like that's around you and the physical. So yeah, like I think there's some mental, emotional like upshifts occurring as well, spiritual, but like particularly they were talking about in the physical. So there might be some changes coming in that are like surprising to you or that like seem to come out of nowhere, but I feel like it's stuff you've been asking for. But I feel like it's something you've been asking for. So any change is actually leading you to better. So I would like flow and run with the changes and not like work against them, because it's pretty much just like the universe bringing in, because I just see the universe floating gifts on balloon. Like I don't know if you ever played Animal Crossing. I used to play Animal Crossing as a kid, like 10 years ago. No, 20 years ago. God, sorry. Oh God. 10 years ago I was 18. 20 years ago I was 8. So more like 20 years ago. My gosh. But if you ever played Animal Crossing, there were these like presents that like floated in on balloons. You'd have to shoot them down with a slingshot or whatever. Or they'd hit a tree and you'd shake the tree and the present would fall out and you get like a whatever. But it's like, that's your gifts are coming in for you. It's pretty much what I'm saying. And again, we have this abundance card. This card is about abundance and also healing. Emerald Dragon brings in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your 5th dimensional blueprint. So it's pretty much an upgrade in your life circumstances. Anything else for you, Bone Skeletto? I would try not to let people get to you. most people mean well when they say the things they do, even if it gets under your skin. And there's no one around you that hates you. That is also what I hear. There's no one around you who hates you. I think there's also a lot of support coming in, is what I'm getting as well. So I think that's the message. I would also go for your goals and like really not hold back. I think now or very soon is the time to like hit the ground running towards your aspirations, dreams, and goals. So I hope that helps, Bone Skeletto. And you're not on the wrong track. If you feel like you're on the wrong track, it's not a thing. I keep flipping these cards open and there's keys all over the place. So what's the key? And I didn't even realize there was a key on this card until I just looked at it just a second ago. There's a key on this green gold dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. So I want to see, like, what do the keys mean? I guess it's like the key, not I guess. What I see and what I get is like the keys you need to move forward are coming. And I think that's part of, like, along with those gifts being floated in, there's like one with a key. So balloons, I guess, are something my guys like to show me right now. Hope that helps, Bone Skeletto. Hope that helps. Why are we talking about dungeons now? I have a story I want to tell. Oh my god, you're like, don't tell that story. Oh my god, Animal Crossing. Shake the trees. Yeah. Tumelomoloi. Sorry if I'm not saying that wrong. Right. Tumilomoloi. Should I leave my relationship? Not yet. I would stay, honestly. I just wouldn't leave yet for some reason. If you're asking, there's probably a reason you're asking. So you're probably already leaning that way, or you're just very, like... I know you're pretty concerned about it, otherwise you're going to be asking. But I would stay for now, is what I get. It's not... If there's abuse, yeah, leave. I think what I'm hearing is, like, it's not as bad as it might seem. But... I feel like... Honestly, I feel like you're probably going to leave, but not yet. So I don't know if that just ruins the whole point of me saying don't leave yet, but that's what I'm getting. I hope that helps. Oh, thanks for the butterfly, Michelle. Thank you. Hey, Christy Sai, will Dave and I be in a relationship? Honestly, I would give that space. I would kind of move on. If he's gonna come back, he'll be back around whether you move on or not. But I think, like, I'm kind of getting probably not. I kind of feel like it's a good idea to move on. And see what happens. But I feel like you really got to give it space. That's probably going to lead to the best outcomes. I hope that helps. Sarah, will feelings develop with Tim, please? My body pendulum's going no, yes. So what's up with that? So overall, yes. I feel like it's going to happen, but not as quickly as you'd like. And not as to great a degree as you've been hoping for yet. I feel like you're going to have to be very patient with that, Sarah. I hope that helps. I do feel like good person, Tim. Good person. Still working on things, as a lot of people... I don't want to put this on people, but I feel like people can be. But, so, like, yes, but there might be other options coming in before that happens, honestly. That's what I get for you, Sarah. Hope that helps. Fernanda Torred, will you come back for a second chance? I do kind of feel like I would move along. It's not worth it, is what I get. Thanks. It will work out slowly. Yeah. Definitely not a speed run, Sarah, on that one. But I would give it time. I actually feel like he's worth it, Sarah, based on what I'm getting for that weight there. Alright, next one. Alright, sorry, I'm just browsing the Q&A here to see what my guys want me to answer right now. Love Brie Marie 555. Well, 555 is a number for you guys. Oh, thank you, Hope Heath. Hope Heath won. I feel, you know what, like, I wouldn't put pressure on yourself to, okay, sorry, my guys didn't like how I was answering that, so let me see what they want to say. You're doing everything mostly right. I feel like you're doing great. Sure, there's a few areas you could shore up. But I feel like you're doing most of your best. Should you leave? Not quite right now. I would not leave right now. Again, guys, if any situation's abusive, I would probably leave, but I don't feel like that's what this is about, honestly. I get not yet, and I know that's not like a great answer, but I mean, I'm getting no, but the clarifier I get is not yet, so I hope that helps and makes sense. I feel like if you keep doing things to improve yourself, everything's going to get better. That's one of the messages I'm getting right now, where it's like inner work, improving outer circumstances, you know, like working on your mindset. I think like as you kind of improve yourself, everything elevates. That's something I'm getting as well. So I hope that helps, Love Brie Marie. Beauty Bruja, should I move to New York? I get no on New York. I think there's a better area for you. And New York can be a little rough sometimes, but go with your gut. I'm not here to, well, I'm here to do my best to channel through the highest and best information I can for you guys, but your life is ultimately your responsibility. So I do get no as far as moving to New York. That's what I get. I do feel like there's better areas for you. Hope that helps. Oh, did I mute you? No! Did I accidentally mute the... Someone unmute her! Someone unmute the Beauty Bruja. Unless she said something in the chat, and it wasn't me who muted her. I don't see that though. One of the moderators, if that was you, I'm sure you had your reasons, but can you help me unmute the Beauty Bruja while I do this? Because I didn't mean to do that, and I feel, if you have the way. Oh, thank you. Be Divine. Love ya. That was, yeah. I think I hit something on accident, and like, hey, Woodlands, wow, hi, nice. What do my guys want to tell me? I feel like this is definitely something that, well, hold on. Okay, here's the message I get. It's like, in a lot of ways, you're hitting new levels and like some elevations, if that makes sense, I think. But also, like, I feel like there's a bit of a reset coming in, honestly, is what I get. Where you are resetting, where it's like you're kind of coming back to like your center after a time of being a little pushed around by what's outside of you, if that makes sense. So it's definitely time to like take time to come back to your center. And if you're just like, what does that mean? They didn't like that. So if you're just like, how do I do that? You can be like, okay, it can be a very energetic thing. It can mean something a little different to people, but just ask like, universe, please bring me back to my center. And if you want more of an instant like energy work kind of adjustment, hey, spirit guides, angels of the highest light here from my highest good, please bring me back to my center in the highest of best ways now. Thank you. So I just asked for me, and so I'm just gonna adjust here for a second and be brought back to my center. Oh my gosh, that's better. So so there's an example of one way to just kind of step into being centered. But I feel like if you feel like you've been pushed around, you're not going to be pushed around much longer. And I feel like you've earned that stance where you're just a bit stronger than you used to be and a bit less apt to feel like you have to acquiesce or go with what other people say, if that makes sense. One other message coming through here: Black Dragon from Saturn brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. Be the wise one you be. I think acquiring wisdom is a theme right now, and that's through life circumstances. That's reading any like intellectual knowledge and like books, listening to people talk who know their salt, if that makes sense. And that's kind of helping you elevate because you're approaching life in a different way. So life is going to respond differently, if that makes sense. I would keep doing your work, like what kind of work? All the work, like the inner work, the outer work, all the work. And crystal healing also would be a great thing. We have crystal yellow dragon here. I'm hearing crystal healing would be a good thing for you as well, Woodland Wahain. So I would definitely pay attention to like incorporating crystals, or even just like putting a crystal you want to work with next to your bed when you go to sleep, or under your bed, or however works for you. I think that would help you as well. I would actually like ask for your pathway to be elevated. We have Earth Dragon here, clears your path in the land around you. So it's pretty much just like the message I hear is ask for your path to be elevated. So I'll talk about it really briefly, but there was like a guided meditation. This was a Lee Harris meditation that I liked, and I don't know if my guys really want me to share this, but I'm going to share it anyways in case it's helpful for someone. So sorry guys, I promise I will listen better. But in this meditation, you'd feel into your future, a couple years, and you'd be like, you kind of get a sense energetically of like, how does your future feel? And then you'd kind of intend or feel your future get 10 times better. And like, in a way, you're like manifesting your path being 10 times better. So you have, in a sense, like you have the ability to energetically upshift your trajectory in those ways through intention, if that makes sense. So even if you're just like, okay, what will it take for my path to be 10 times better? I feel like you are going to start getting messages as well, like either hearing your spirit guides or spiritual team, or that's a capability you have that's being uncovered, maybe slowly, albeit steadily. And this is Dark Blue Galactic Dragon, helps you listen to the voice of the universe. So if you've been trying to talk to your spirit guides, you'll be able to hear from your guides more clearly in the future. And I feel like you have all the tools you need to start uncovering that. I hope that helps. There's more. I think if you feel like, in a way, like analogously, you've been walking through the desert in your life, or like a period of winter, if that makes sense, or like the Five of Pentacles tarot card, which is kind of just like being left out in the cold. I feel like you're coming into spring in a ways regarding your life circumstances, like seasons of life kind of thing. So it's not like literally, it's not literally like, I mean, maybe if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's winter and going into spring in this physical, but I mean, this is an analogy. Like, you feel like in your life you're in a period of winter. That's not going to last. I feel like you're coming into like more spring energy in a month or so up ahead, or two, where things start to turn around for the better. Things start to feel a bit more ease-filled. So, but I feel like, don't worry, everything's taken care of. I hope that helps. Woodlands Wahain. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Jordan 746. Will Harrison and I be in a relation? Will Harrison and I be? My body pendulum's going no. But for some reason I want to say don't give up. At the same time, I think definitely, like, if this doesn't work out with Harrison here, I would definitely write about what you want. I love this advice. I've heard it a few different places. But write about what you want. Write a boundaries list of like, this is what I've realized I don't want. Or at least keep a running list with the universe where, like, if you're scrolling through TikTok and you're just like, you see someone say this thing, you're like, okay, so maybe not someone who has that attitude. And, like, universe, you okay. And I don't know. Does that make sense? So you kind of have a running list of like what you're looking for, what you're not looking for, and just kind of like let the universe bring that to you. You'll have the right person. I feel like Harrison's great, but I feel like it's gonna be weird if it happens. And there's that kind of like rejection as protection. Thor is red, black, and gold dragon protects you in times of change, but it's kind of just like if it doesn't work out, you're protected. It's for a reason, and you will find really good options soon. I hope that helps, Jordan. I'm sorry if that is not the answer you wanted to hear. But you know, you can let it develop and see what happens if you really want that. Okay. What by nature? Should I call David? I wouldn't. Honestly. Again, no. Should I call David? Would it be in the highest good for you to call David? No. I would give David space. I would move along. I feel like he'll reach out if he wants to, if that makes sense. Hope that helps, What by nature. Baby EMT Basic 1136 is going back to school for physical therapy right for me. I get yes. I feel like that's a good move, and it's aligned, is what I'd say. Mara Strap of Music. Oh, hey, Mara Strap of Music. Is Ryan good for me? Not the best. Maybe a good option down the road when he develops more, but for now, I'd see what else is out there. I'm so sorry, Mara. That's I know, usually that's not the answer you're looking for when you ask. But, okay, back to the Q&A. Lisa E328, am I receiving any downloads? Yes. So, I want to delve into a couple different definitions of download, just so we're on the same page here. So, there's a couple ways. Usually for me, downloads is like, it's almost more like a stream of energy from source. It's like the Ascension downloads where it's just like, boop, and you just feel all this energy flowing through you. I get a lot of downloads with like eclipses, lunar or solar eclipses. They get pretty intense and interesting. So do you get those? Yes. Everyone's getting downloads like that. They're like upgrades to the etheric, to you, if that makes sense. As far as downloads, like, I think sometimes there's a bit of like a thing where people will call intuitive hit, like intuition or like visuals, like downloads. That's not usually the word I use for that. Usually it's just like, oh, I'm getting this visual, or oh, I'm getting a message from my spirit guides, because, you know, I just hear the messages or channeling. But do you get those? Actually, I feel you definitely do have intuition. I do feel like it's a bit different than most people, the way it shows up, or will, if you work on it. I think you're definitely very gifted, and have a lot of magic about you. I think a lot of it's yet to be uncovered, though, is what I'd say for you. Liza, so like pulling cards is a great way to start bringing that out more. Pulling cards like daily, journaling. I think like automatic writing could be huge for you as well. I think because I do feel like you got it going on. And it's something you can like work towards and develop and be a great psychic. It's pretty much what I'm getting. And psychic's not usually a term I use, but I just bring through the words they bring through to that, you know, will resonate with the people in the way they need to. So I hope that helps. Liza, short answer, yes. Ooh, this will be an interesting. Sharon Kubiak, do you think the 369 method of manifesting is best? No, I don't. To me, I get convoluted, but I think, like, here's the thing. I'm not here to down talk anyone's method of manifestation. I feel like what works for you and resonates for you is, you know, what's best for you, and the bottom line is, like, is it working for me? A lot of things, like, I want to be careful with this. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there for manifestation, but for me, I found, like, keeping it simple has been better. I feel like all I've found is like I just need to ask and it shows up, or even just like more recently, like even just like, even if you just kind of like think about something and mildly desire it, and then like I just like the opportunity to experience it shows up at some point. I feel like manifestation is getting faster and easier. So I think sometimes like we don't need as many tools as we think we do to manifest really fluidly, if that makes sense. So it's a great method, especially if it works for you. That's great. But you know what? If you're manifesting, all I've found I need to do to boost my manifestation is intend that my manifestation is boosted. But I know I've done like that's my point where I'm at. So if I'm like, okay, let's see. Now, if you want to receive this, I'm just going to like bring in some energies for you guys. That's for the highest good. And if you want to receive that and feel it, you can say yes, please. If not, you can just not say anything. But like, okay, let's see. I ask for the highest and best energies of peace to flow around you guys, straight from source in the highest and best ways. Only for the highest good. Those of you who are willing to receive that now. So those of you who are energetically sensitive, you're going to feel that peace. Okay, I ask that manifestation is boosted ×2, so it's twice as strong, that peace energy. So now you're going to feel it twice as strong. So you can do the same thing, just manifesting anything, because a lot of it is, does that make sense, guys? It's like, because you're infinite, you're infinitely potent, you are source and source is you have the infinite capability to intend and manifest anything. So your intentions can be, especially if it's for the highest good and it's highest aligned, infinitely potent, and you can put that infinite potency behind a manifestation. But you also have to pay attention to the ways the universe is working with that and steering you, if that makes sense, because it's just like, if I'm manifesting like, oh, I want to be with this person, I want to be with this person, oh, and like the universe keeps blocking it, because the universe is infinite, infinitely intelligent, infinitely wise as well, and the universe knows better, like, hey, like what you actually want and what you've been telling us you want isn't this person, so stop asking for this person. Or it's just like, they'll, like if it's not right, it doesn't, just because you're infinitely potent, like you're also working with the infiniteness and infinite intelligence of the universe to bring about what you're manifesting, if that makes sense. So, I guess you could say it's a bit of both. Does that make sense? So all that to say, like, it's a great method if that's what resonates for you, but it's not the best way. Does that make sense? Because the best way is the best way that works best for you. And so it can be a little individual, but I've found like just ask, or just various methods like that have worked just fine for me. And the more I get caught up in like certain, like, I don't really feel like there's any like laws, like law of attraction, law of assumption. It's like, okay, these are great things that you can intend. It's like when you are intending that, like, if I resonate at this frequency, this will show up. You're just intending that if I do this, this happens, and you're like creating that reality. But if you're just like, okay, all I have to do is ask and I will receive, all you have to do is ask and it shows up. Does that make sense, guys? And I know that's a bit meta, but that's what I've been finding is like, sometimes people make it more complex than it really needs to be. And like, if you need to raise to a vibration for something to come in, just asking, the universe will lead you into the realizations, the healing, the situations, the events, the people that you have, that will raise your elevation or your vibration for that to come in. So it can be a very automatic process if you let it be. It doesn't have to be so convoluted. That's what I want to, sorry. Thanks for the roses, guys. But that's what I get. So I hope that helps and made sense to you guys and bring some insight. And I know like there's a lot of attraction people that, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of like, sorry, I'm going on a rant, but like a lot of Abraham Hicks, I don't necessarily explicitly agree with everything they've said, because like I'll listen and then we'll get no, and my guys are like, no, that's not how that works. So I'll get no. But then there's people who, there's one girl I know, woman, love this girl, but she's very into Abraham Hicks, but it works for her, and like the way she does it, like she'll say things, I'm like, yeah, that's how it works, but she'll have like an Abraham Hicks spin on it. So it's like you can do the right things in like different understandings, if that makes sense, because there's like a common ground where it like works. I don't know how to explain that, but I hope that makes sense, guys. My guys are telling me to be careful, so I don't feel like I explained that perfectly, but universe, fix it. Thanks. Whatever I did that wasn't for the highest good, fix it. And they're like, you did everything for the highest good, you just didn't say it quite accurately on that other Esler Hicks point. So I'm sorry to the Esler Hicks fans, I didn't say it quite accurately. What do you want? Okay, now I really want to get it right. What's up, guys? She says certain things that are really on point for me, and she also says things that aren't. I hope that makes sense and rounds that out for you guys as an answer. So I'm really not trying to badmouth any spiritual teacher out there, because it's about like what's the right fit and what resonates. Because it is a bit of a multi-dimensional experience, and like to a certain degree, you not everything, but you can make a lot of different things work. Does that make sense? Through your own potency and capability to create. Anyways, back to the Q&A. You said he is not worth it, but will he come back? I guess it's my ego asking. I get no. Fernand Torrid. There's way better. Like I feel like I understand like the ego asking and stuff. Like I feel like they might check in, you know, but I don't feel like they're gonna like come back. Does that make sense? Anyways. Oh, all right. Oh, I don't think I answered this. Noah's flower. Anything from spirit. First thing I get is stay golden. I feel like you're a great person. Oh my gosh, I know like we just talked about ego with someone, but ego work might be something that's good for you. I always hesitate saying that. I just feel like sometimes things can get a little tricky when you start talking about ego. But anyways, just make sure you're being yourself and coming from an authentic standpoint in all those flowers, because you're a great person. I think like letting that shine is like a big thing for you. If anyone ever tries to stamp your light out, don't let them, because you're meant to shine. You're meant to be like bright and happy and sunflowery. And I'm not saying if you're not bright and happy and sunflower 24/7, you're a failure. Because no, it's okay to be like depressed for like if you're going through that or whatever. It's like it's okay. Like don't force yourself to be like must be joyful. And there's a quick story I wanted to tell, but I'll tell it after this little reading here. So I pulled up at this green dragon card. Typically it's about nature, but they pointed my eyes to this key and they said key to your heart. So what does key to your heart mean? Key to your heart, what does that mean? Interesting message is like you hold the key for people to love you, but you have to express it. So what does that mean? It's like teach people how to love you is kind of the message I'm getting in all those flowers. It's like I think that's something that can be difficult to do sometimes at first is like, well, I don't want to put it on you that it's difficult, but I'm just kind of trying to feed the words that they're giving me. Is like teach people what you need or communicate like your needs effectively, like in a relationship or with others. But I feel like you try, but I feel like that would be a huge leap forward for you as well. Is doing that. I think like there's a lot of healing on the rise for you as well that's coming through. I hesitate to bring in chakras as well, but they're mentioning to pay attention to your throat chakra, and definitely make sure you're speaking up to people and communicating like one, going with your values in life, but also like communicating what you need. I also wouldn't take any X's back, Noel's flower. That's coming in as something. Don't take X's back. I think you need a bit of space from people who don't have your best interests at heart. So if you feel like someone's not really like quote unquote on your side or in your corner, maybe just like take a break from them. I'm not saying to go like shoving people out of your life willy-nilly, but it's more just like take space for yourself. Interesting message here. There's this aquamarine dragon from Neptune, and there's this dragon with this trident, and I heard like becoming king, but I don't think you're a dude. So what is that about? I think becoming an authority figure is something that I'm getting. So it's like you might be becoming an authority figure or like either becoming like a manager or you are one or starting your own business. But I feel like becoming a ruler in your field is something like that. That's very poetic, but I just feel like you're meant to be someone who leads at a certain point in your trajectory. So like don't hold back from like sharing your knowledge and wisdom and being a leader in your field or in whatever you're doing. And I feel like you'll see abundance if you step into a leadership role. I think that's the message, Noel's flowers. I hope that helps. I hope you're still around. I know this was asked a while ago, but anything else? Okay, what? They're mentioning, okay, Omega Dragon harnesses the divine feminine power of creation, intention, hold your vision, birth the higher consciousness. And they're saying create your reality with this card. Make sure your intentions line up with what you really want. That's both in like your communication, that's what you're asking from with the universe. And it's okay to ask for what you desire. it doesn't always have to be like universe show me, universe show me, universe show me. I remember one of the most interesting experiences I had was I was out to lunch one time with my now ex, and I was like, oh, I want a beer. I'm like, okay, well, universe, show me what I should get. Universe, tell me what I should get. And like it was a very synchronistic, and I know synchronistic messages, it's like a constant for me. The visions, this, like everything's a sign. So I know when it's a sign and when it's not, if that makes sense. It's very blatant to me. But like across the restaurant, this lady was like, what do you want? Tell me what you want. I'm like, okay, I should just ask for what I want. So I ended up ordering a beer. It was an amazing, I don't drink a lot, guys, but like at that time I was eating a lot more vegan based, not totally vegan, but like it was like at least like half my meals were vegan and gluten free because the person I was seeing was vegan and gluten free. And so like I think there's B vitamins in beer that are helpful. And I'm not gluten intolerant, so like beer is fine for me. But my ex was. So pretty much just like sometimes the universe just wants you to tell it what you want. Does that make sense? Like I know there can be a bit of a give and take in a dance and a co-creation, but hopefully someone needed to hear that story. But it's okay to ask for like exactly what you're looking for. And if you're like, okay, but I don't want to limit the thing that's for me showing up, just be like, okay, universe, this or better. Whoa, my gosh, look at that. That's very fancy. Thanks for the pearl, summer girl. Summer lay. I wanted to say summer girl, but by the way, everyone's divinely protected right now, if you need to hear that. Hope that helps, Noah's Flower. But the story I wanted to tell, I forgot the story I wanted to tell. And maybe that's what was supposed to happen. I felt like there was a lot of wisdom in it, though, and oh well. Maybe it'll come back to me. Mbrabs, any idea how I can move past a period of waiting? Take action. I know that's annoying. I would start building something you want to see while you're waiting, Mbrabs. Something that doesn't distract from what you're trying to do. Totally, but build something you want to see in the meantime, or like hone your craft if you can like practice that. Or just sit and wait. I think like sometimes waiting periods are actually just like good for us, and they kind of prepare us for what's to come. And it's sometimes our bodies need that to adjust to the future and to kind of like just release a bit of the past and like let go and open up to what's coming in. For you, you can just be like, universe, I ask to move forward in the highest and best ways. But what I was initially getting was like, just take action, even if it's like a small symbolic step. It's like sometimes if you want to write a book and you're like, I don't know, and you're just thinking about writing a book for like, sometimes you can just sit there and think about writing a book for like years, and you're like, oh wait, I need to do this. So like sometimes just taking that small symbolic step, even if it's just like, okay, I'm opening up the Word document, I'm writing the title, I'm writing, okay, amazing book, by me or whatever, and then like, I don't know, even just start opening the Word document, and like that's a symbolic step of like starting, and it's just like starts getting the energy and motion, if that makes sense. And then that can either snowball, you can keep the momentum going, and it's just easier to keep working once you start. So if you're like, okay, I'm just gonna write a paragraph, and then it's much easier to write the second paragraph after you write the first paragraph. Does that make sense, guys? So even if you're just outlining the book, even if you just open the Word document, but it's a start, and then you're much more likely to keep it going if you have this Word document open on your computer every time you open your laptop, then or desktop or whatever, than if you like just don't start it at all. I hope that makes sense. But you're in a period of waiting for a reason. Yeah, you just want to start a company, and it's just very overwhelming. Thank you so much. Yeah, one step at a time. I understand, because like, there's a lot that goes into it. You're like, oh, taxes, so just start, and I wouldn't worry about a lot of that, depending on your circumstances. Like, I know if it's like massage therapy, there's a lot of different licenses in place, so yes, pay attention to that stuff. But like, you might want to consider just starting and figuring it out from there, if that makes sense. Like, get the bare minimum going, and then like grow it, if that makes sense. Hope that helps. Love Brie Marie. I think I answered this already. Did I? I'll do it really quickly in case I didn't. I would definitely love yourself. If maybe you needed more messages, I would love yourself. I do feel like putting yourself first to a degree would be helpful for you. I think it's easy to cater to others' needs and then feel a little bit run down after a while. So like self-care and like self-love, and just asking yourself like what you need day to day, and showing up for you and then others. It's kind of like they're showing me the Ace of Cups tarot card in my mind's eye, and I like when they do that because it's fun, because it's like a tarot card without the tarot cards. But like the message I actually got with that, because I know that's usually about like fulfillment, that's about a new offer, or an offer that has you overflowing with happiness or emotional fulfillment. But what I heard was like fill your cup first. And in some ways you are the fulfiller to your own dreams and desires, starting off. So like take a moment to fill your cup, and then as it overflows, the cup runneth over, that overflow can then you can do with it what you will to help the lives of others, if that makes sense. But otherwise, it's just like, does that make sense? The whole cup analogy, guys, you know. Not V, am I on the right path? Thank you. I get very, yes. There's a few adjustments up ahead and a few like bumps where the universe kind of adjusts you more directly onto your path, but like you're right where you need to be is what I get. Okay. LLE1031S. I really need life advice from guides, please. The first thing I'm getting is like take a second and just breathe. You're okay. I do feel like life is transforming, and it's transforming for a reason for you. Anything that's leaving your life is supposed to leave. And we have Fire Dragon here. Burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. So it's kind of just like this, like, it's almost like in a way you're in a birth period where it's like you're birthing into a new reality, or you're birthing the new. And so like, an example could be, I'm sure you get the analogy, but an example could be like when I was starting this and doing readings, and like I was also working full time. It was like the birth period was me working full time, working nights, and then coming home and doing like readings all morning. And then like the dishes were piling up in the sink, and like, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even like clean because I'm trying to do both these things. But the birth period was both of those until I could finally had enough income from doing readings and stuff that I could quit my job and then put more effort into like other things I could build to help you guys and to be more of service, if that makes sense. And to be in a better place so that my reading qualities were more improved. Not that they weren't good back then, but I have more time to dedicate towards honing my craft, you know, staying in a good place energetically so I can boost myself more, if that makes sense, and show up to an even greater degree. All that being said, I would also get out in nature and just like just take time to like release. I feel like there might be a bit of a purge, or like that's coming, and I feel like getting out in nature will just help you to ground, one, but also to like to recenter, to rebalance, and to kind of just get that breath of fresh air that gives you the insight you need. Because sometimes when you're just like stuck at home or just like doing the same thing, it's just like it's just like, I'm not gonna say you won't get the realizations you need, but sometimes that change of scenery and like just getting the energies moving can kind of just like open up space for different realizations to come in, if that makes sense, and different insights. I feel like that's a lot of what you need to hear. But yeah, and we have this again, birth the new. We have this egg and this birthing. This card's all about divine feminine power of creation. So so I feel like, I was gonna say manifest, but I feel like you already did the manifestation, and now is like a lot of what's allowing that stuff to, a lot of the changes now are like what's allowing the new things to come through. So I would be patient right now as things shift, and definitely go with the flow as well. Water Dragon helps you flow easily around obstacles. I feel like you kind of need to flow. I think rigidity will kind of be a downfall right now. So if a change comes up, it's okay. If it's like not quite what you, I don't know, just like don't fight against it, but I'd flow around it or with it, and just kind of let life lead you to better, because that's kind of what's happening. You will have more soulmates coming in right now, by the way, more people who like get you. So if that's not here yet, don't worry. Your community's coming pretty much. So I do feel like everything's coming in for you. It's like you asked for a lot and you're getting a lot. So that's coming, and you are protected through this time if you need to hear that. Like, divinely protected. Nothing's gonna go like wrong, and maybe if things aren't what you want all the time, like they actually will be at a certain point, I'm hearing. But it's more just like you're protected from any like bum outcomes or anything not really going your way on a grander scale, if that makes sense. Hope that helps. Hope that helps you and helps your circumstances. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to the moderators. We've got Deja, Texas Jess, Be Divine. I want to say I'm so grateful for you guys for showing up every Sunday and helping me out with this. They are a big part of what brings this live to such a great energy, I want to say. They're all beautiful people, and I appreciate them all so much. So everyone, feel free to give them a shout out, show them some love at some point today if you can, because they deserve it, and they're very worthy of good things, each and every one of them. I don't know if they need to hear that, but love you guys. Thank you. Kasha3691, what do your guides say that I should work on? So I just had this card. I don't remember flipping this open, but this was just looking me in the face when I looked down at my cards here. Rainbow Dragon brings a leap of joy that opens new doors. Have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, accept opportunities. And the word I got was hope. So cultivating things that are bringing you hope. And I don't mean just like say some nice. Yes, affirmations can be helpful and can really help shift your reality. Especially with intention that you're manifesting those affirmations, like I am pure. Okay, universe is bringing you're becoming pure. You are manifesting your pureness. But it's also just like doing things that bring you hope for the future. Like for you, it might be like, what will it take for me to bring in the relationships that call on hope? Or it might be like, what will it take for me to bring in the endeavors that give me hope for my future? Like, what will it take for me to have hope for the world in a beautiful way? I feel like for some reason, cultivating hope and joy and like those states will be very helpful for you and for everyone, yes. But I think like peace is coming in for you. If you've been lacking peace, I am hearing peace is coming in for you, Kesha. So I wouldn't worry about that. I think the other thing that you should work on is taking time for yourself and really sitting with yourself without distractions or electronics. And sometimes that message could be for me too, because sometimes I just like sit there and I love I kind of just okay, what do you want me to say? Sometimes it's nice to like, you need that time to just chill, like watch a movie or whatever it is. Sometimes that can be restful and restorative, as long as it doesn't as long as you're not watching like 5 movies in a row and like, oh my god, I feel like crap, because I've done that too where I'm just like I feel amazing and restored after watching a movie, but then I watch 2 in a row, I'm like, oh. Then I watch like a third if I'm like hanging out with someone, I'm like, oh my god, So it's like, you know what I mean. But like taking some quiet time for you where you're just meditating, yoga might be a good tool if that's, listen to your body and what you can do, of course, but yoga might be a good tool just to kind of help get in the flow, get in the zone as well. But things that bring you joy, things that get you inspired, things that bring you hope, and just like surrounding you with more of those things, whether it's like YouTubers, whether it's like literally a physical like art print that you find that you're like, oh, I love this. I love the intentionality of like having this art print with these specific phrases on it. Things like that. And it's really like work on cultivating your joy and your hope. And I know hopefully that's not too ambiguous for you. And one thing you can do is like, universe, I ask to feel joy. You can ask for it. You can ask for energies of joy from the universe. But the other thing is, oh my gosh, sorry. Even if you just like find the things that make you joyful and incorporate that more on a regular basis with the intention that like, all right, this is a joy practice, and during this 10-minute period with my orange herbal tea that I love, I am joyful. And so like, even if you're not like intensely feeling joy right away, but showing up and like getting the joy engine going, it can help to spark more joy to life, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. But they want to remind you you're a great person, Kesha. Okay. Wow. I feel like I've gotten through, it's 10:30 my time. I feel like I've gotten through a lot, and it's only been like an hour and a half. Okay. Guess we're just rolling. Ooh. Sunita Monet. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Sunita Monet. Why do I keep seeing my birthday numbers and 26? So, I feel like, so birthday numbers, they're kind of like, it's your birthday. It's your birthday. I would say it's like a bit of a celebration. But I'm also getting a tandem message of self-reflection as well. So it's just kind of like, I feel like the universe is bringing gifts your way as well as part of that. So keep an eye out for that. So it's like blessings, it's things coming in you've been wanting to see. It's like the universe saying happy birthday, even if it's not really your birthday. But self-reflection is always a good idea as well, because it kind of, I don't want to say it represents you, but it is like a, hey, this is a very personal thing for me. And I feel like your birthday will be significant in some way, shape, or form as well, or something around that time period. Just the way things shift, like universally for you, if that makes sense, like in your life and internally as well. As far as 26, that can be an important number. To me, 2 and 6s show up for like being, like, it's like being on your path, your like your divine life path, your highest line pathway, or like your destiny, if that makes sense. Like 26 shows up when I'm like either on the right track, or I'm going somewhere I'm supposed to go, or doing something I'm supposed to do, if that makes sense. It's like represents like being on the right path, if that makes sense. When I see 26, like for instance, I was contemplating years ago, I wanted to move to North Carolina because, one, that's where my then, like, I met this girl, and when I lived in Colorado, I moved to Illinois, she moved to North Carolina, we kept in contact, and then we started dating, and we were meeting each other halfway, and I was like, oh, I want to move to North Carolina. So I wasn't like sure how that was going to happen, because I didn't quite have the money at that time, and I was kind of just like, I really want to make this move, I don't know how this is going to work out. But like at a certain point, I was driving, and I went to a red light, and I stopped, and in front of me was the license plate from North Carolina. It was like 2626 was on that license plate. I was like, oh my God. But you know, lo and behold, a few months later, I end up in North Carolina. So it's kind of just like, it's like, hey, you're on the right path, or like, yeah, this is going to happen. Does that make sense? That's what it meant for me. So I know it can be a little bit personal what some of these numbers mean. Joanne Sacred Scribes, if you Google that for number meanings, is the one I tend to gravitate towards. I feel like that's been the most helpful for me when I was working on discerning number meanings. So I hope that helps, Sunita Monet. That's some of the answers I get. Okay. Okay, you want me to answer this? FMCLA 205. Brandon, my energy around career is very stuck. I haven't worked in 4 years. What do you see for me? I would try, if you can, to do your own thing. I think, in some ways, I feel like you have to find a career you enjoy. I know sometimes when you get to those points and you're like, no, I just want something. I get that too. I would try to do something that's self-employment based if you can. I don't care if it's Etsy. I don't care if it's, but that's kind of what they're trying to steer you towards, at least as far as what I'm getting for you. I don't know why, but I feel like for some reason, like one thing I wanted to say, we have blue dragons from the Pleiades. Prepare you to accept source healing, accept a heart activation, give and receive heart healing. What I wanted to say was like learning Reiki, and then like working with Reiki or getting sessions to like help clear that up, to help shift those energies. Cause it's like, they're saying something about bad experiences. If you feel like you've had bad experiences in the past with career, like don't let that hold you back, or in life. I think like you are meant for better. And, you know, in a good way, only if that's good. History really isn't bound to repeat itself. I feel like sometimes we have those stories and it doesn't happen. But through self-employment, either learning Reiki or you know, there's great courses on Udemy, Lisa Powers, traditional Usui Reiki is something I'll recommend to people if they want to learn Reiki. I feel like that's a pretty solid online course. I've done energy healing sessions, like lessons, in person, online. I liked that course. So it might be worth checking out if you want to learn Reiki or do something. I feel like the more you're doing your own thing, the better, though, is what I want to say for you. And maybe that feels a bit like contrary to popular belief, but for some reason that's what they're pointing you towards. I think you won't be stuck forever or for long. I think like any holding patterns are just growing you, and I would take this time to go within and be like, what do I really want? Because I think like that's going to help steer you in the right direction as well. Like, what do I need? What do I need to move forward? What do I need to get like a job that's for me? And yeah, in a lot of ways you're protected, because I feel like the pandemic would have been haywire for your career, is what I want to say as well. But I would start doing your own thing if you can. I hope that helps as an answer. FMCLA 205. Hope that helps you. Okay, back to the Q&A. One black butterfly. Anything for you? I'm gonna do. They want me to switch decks here. Man, that sounds so cool to be chilling with dragons and getting help with them. It's a good time. I love working with dragons. Deja, just ask for your dragon guys to be around you, and they will be. I feel like everyone has access to help from dragons. You might have some weird dreams, but that's okay. Brandon, please. What? Did I mess up? What's up? Black butterfly. Oh, yeah. Isn't that a sign for you? Anyways, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm not seeing the chat all the time because I'm looking through. So anyways, black butterfly. One of the messages, tandem message, I pulled 2 cards. One, Archangel Raziel, but the message I'm getting with this one is like, know thyself. So it's like kind of like self-study, just learning your patterns and what makes you tick, and like what you need to move forward, if that makes sense. Guardian Angel, love yourself unconditionally, ask for help. So yeah, ask for help from the angels, but know you're also like, you're guarded from any missteps or from like falling too hard, if that makes sense. Angels have a way of catching us, before angels don't have a way of falling, by the way. Maybe that's why I said that. By the way, I always get there's no such thing as fallen angels. It's a myth. What religion has to say about angels isn't always accurate, and I am so... I had one post about how to work with angels, and it blew up, and I had to deal with so many people just be like, what about fallen angels? They don't exist. Not a thing. I feel like things like spiritual warfare, things that are like fear-based, don't really exist. And like, I think people can create that experience for themselves energetically, but it's like, it's not really real. Does that make sense, guys? Like, I work with angels. I've worked with them for years, my whole life. I've always gotten a good vibe, always had good experiences, and like I've just heard so much weird. I didn't realize people were so afraid of angels. I'm like, angels are not. That's like the kindest, most. Sorry, I'm gonna have my own freak out moment here for a second. But like, they've been like just the most gentle, kind, loving, compassionate, and just helpful beings. Okay, sorry. All the beings I've worked with, dragons, angels, it's all been like of highest consciousness, of the highest light, of source, for the highest good. I have not had a bad experience with channeling. Even like passed on loved ones, I've never had a bad experience, and that's me. I don't know if there's something different about me that like makes that the case, as opposed to some stories other people had. But like, I know like people have these stories about like no, they don't even want me to go there. Sorry, I'm freaking out on my own thing here. So I'm not really freaking out, but I'm going on a tangent and just like Emotion Ascension, you are amazing, Brandon. Sorry, angels, thank you. I see black butterflies as a good sign because they're so rare. Yeah, absolutely. Most signs are really good signs, guys. I want to say that really quickly. But also pay attention to feathers as a sign. There's a little feather on this card on the ground here. So anyways, back to you, black butterfly number 1 here. There's this angel with incense. I would cleanse your space as something to look into, or just like wherever you live, I'd say some like prayers on the daily for it. Just like, okay, angels, spirit guides, source, universe, however, whatever your name for the higher power, spirit, please cleanse my space, bring it to the highest and best for me. I'm asking for energies of peace and joy and love, and whatever else, what other intentions you'd like to set, and be like, okay, anything that no longer serves me, angels, source, Gaia, please either remove that from my home, transmute it for the highest good of all. Thank you so much. Something like that. Just some sort of like daily prayer that you're saying over you and your life circumstances and your home. I feel like for some reason that'll help shift some energies in a positive way for you. And they're showing me this wave on this Archangel Jewels card. And I do hear there's a wave of change coming. But it's like, I would definitely like, it's like in this analogy, in this visual they're showing me, you have your surfboard, so not to worry. I would ride this wave of change and let it take you to like the beach of your dreams is kind of what I'm seeing. And I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect. Also not going to limit it and say it can't be, because what if it can, you know? I know like there's still life stuff, so I just don't want to give you a false impression, you know, when I say these things, but I also don't want to limit you and say they can't be super amazing. So so all that being said, I do feel like you have dreams coming in and coming true in the future, but it's like, now's a great time to like let change bring you there, and like use change as an opportunity to like make changes in yourself and in your circumstances you want to see. Because sometimes when change happens, you can be like, okay, things are going to changing. I would love like this to change as well. And while we're on this momentum here, we're just going to shift this. And you can kind of ask the universe and be like, okay, I would also like this to shift too in this way, and you'll kind of get the changes you need. And I know this is like something that came through for some other people, but I do feel like you are birthing the new. I feel like you want newness in your life. It's coming, so not to worry there. Just be very nurturing to any projects you have going on. There's this angel with the baby, and they're saying to be nurturing with any projects going on. So that's something else to keep in mind. And make sure you're giving things time to grow. I wouldn't like work on something for an hour and give up. I'd give yourself like months to see something through, if that makes sense. They want to remind you also, you have your own magic, you are magical, and you do have a potent ability to create in a way that's like for the highest good. So pay attention to that in the manifestation. Hope that helps. Hope that helps, friend. Wait, so what was the whole thing about the black butterfly? Is that like, because I saw Deja. I'm scared to know why I asked for another black butterfly, because I can't remember. Will I get sad? No, I don't think so. Okay, I want to answer this. They want me to answer this. So there's an answer. There's a question from. And what did we ask? I saw Katarina, and I got an answer the second I saw the question. That's why I wanted to answer it. Katarina asked something about, will my anxiety get better? I do get yes, actually. I do feel like you'll have a gradual improvement. But I feel like it's something you might find you'll be having to walk yourself out of, if that makes sense, as opposed to like magically waking up one day and not being anxious. I think like recognizing some of the patterns and like mental loops per se that make you anxious, and learning to say no to certain things that also give you anxiety in your life, I think will be good. You are picking up on other people's energies, and that's part of it. It's like you're picking up on anxiety around you, but I feel like for you, you can shift it internally to a point where it's where you're less anxious, is what I get. So let's see, what are some of the steps you can take? For instance, one of the tools they're mentioning, hopefully this helps, is like if you have an anxious thoughts, and this modality, where I got this from, there's a book called Being You, Changing the World Is Now the Time by Dr. Dan Heer, and this is this guy who is kind of part of this modality called Access Consciousness. And so this book is kind of laden with a lot of consciousness tools and like tips and things that can help you shift things. And it's almost like an energy work metaphysical book, but it's like it's very different in the way they present a lot of the information. So but anyways, one of the things they talk about is like one of the things he talked about at one point in the story was like, and this is also a YouTube video, he talked about this too that I saw, where it's like if you have like an energy or like a thought or just this whatever, and you're like, okay, like, how do I shift this? And like, you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, it's an interesting point of view. I have this point of view. So if you have a thought or an anxious thought, you're like, okay, or this anxious energy, you're like, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. And you'll kind of feel it shift. You're like, okay, it's an interesting point of view. I have this point of view. And you're kind of like shifting any, like, I guess the way they'd say it is like, what are my guides saying here? It's like you're releasing any fixed points of view so you can let go of anything that's keeping that energy stuck, or any like thought loops or patterns that are keeping that running. Does that make sense? It's just another tool to help shift things. I do feel like Reiki would also help you. I'm a big proponent of energy work as a tool to improve your life in a lot of ways. Because I also feel like it teaches you so much else about the world, about manifesting, about how you work, about how the world works. It just gives you another tool to help shift things and boost things in your life in a positive way. Hope that helps. Abigail Vagartha, has Archangel Raphael always been with me? Yes. Feel free to more consciously call him in and have him be around you. Oh, thanks for the hand heart, Shamika. Hey, good to see you, by the way. Okay, I need like a quick water break. And coffee break. Shaman Justice, will my son be okay? Yes. Give your son time. All will be well there. I got Shaman Justice. Karen Bads, am I getting closer to my career purpose? I get yes. I think you're taking steps. Hey, Amanda Nicole, good to see ya. Good to see you here. I feel like Karen Buds, sorry. Karen Bads, am I getting closer to my career purpose? It's like step by step. I think like you're walking yourself into it slowly, but that's like perfect for you. Because a leap might be detrimental for some reason, excuse me. I feel like keep taking the steps as you're led to, or as you feel called, because I feel like the breadcrumbs are leading you right into it, like as you're kind of just like making this adjustment, making this step. So you're heading in the right direction. I would just kind of let the universe show you where to go. I feel like the visual I also get is like if you feel like you hit maybe not a dead end, but you're like, where do I go from here? It's like the visual I get is like sidestep. So it's like you're on like this step and like there's no like breadcrumbs forward, but you sidestep over here maybe to like either a career transition, or it's like a lateral movement in a company, or both, and then the breadcrumbs keep going, and then you get to your ultimate goal, and ultimately more fulfillment in your career. And I would build things on the side if you want as well, Karen Batts, for some reason, unless you're already doing that and that's what we're talking about. I would stay open-minded as well, because things are going to shift and like be more what you want on their own as well. Hope that helps. Okay, different options confuse me. I hear ya. Well, I hope my answer helped and made sense for you. Okay, next. Bella, good to see ya. Good morning. First card out is Archangel Lavender, prepare for soul healing, forgive and release everyone. But they showed me they pointed my eyes directly at the birds and said fly free. So I would remove any cages from your life, or anywhere you feel trapped or stuck. You're not limited, and you're not someone who's supposed to be limited, Bella. So like, don't feel stuck in any relationships or circumstances. I think I would extricate yourself from anything you feel stuck in, even if it's slow, because you're not supposed to really be stuck. I feel like you're supposed to be a free bird, and not trying to get anyone to play the 14-minute song Free Bird. I think like you might be afraid to leave something. That's kind of what I'm getting with this card. It's like you might be afraid to leave something. If you are, don't be. I think like leaving is the answer if that feels right to you, and make sure it's like something you actually feel called to leave, and you're not just like breaking up with everyone because Brando on the internet said to leave people. Let's see. It's like if you feel stuck in something, leave, and if you feel afraid, don't be. It's like your path is very divinely orchestrated at this time, so it's like any changes are really like divine guidance. They're really like divinely orchestrated, and I feel like the visual I get for you is like if you feel stuck on a platform that's floating, it's like spirit like hold, it's like, you know, like God's hands, like the spirit like holds a hand out and you step onto the hand, and then the next hand comes over here, and you step onto that hand, and you're just kind of like, the steps are presenting themselves really to like get you out of any predicaments, if that makes sense. I do feel like internal healing's on the rise for you as well. It's something I'm hearing. In some ways you need to shift, I think, and like shift out of old patterns. So pay attention to like anything you're ready to let go of, like inside of yourself, as far as like how you approach the world and like any patterns, thought patterns, etc. You're not meant to be the same person like over and over again this lifetime. Like you're going to be like 3 different people in one lifetime is kind of like the message I get. So and that's not like simultaneously. It's like you're someone, and then like some life event happens, or you shift, and you're like, I want to be more like this, and you shift into this other person. And then at a certain point, like you're like, you change and morph and evolve into a third person, if that makes sense. So you're on this trajectory of evolution, and it's like this upward spiral, and it's a good thing. So you're like halfway in between this evolution point, if that makes sense, where like you're hitting new highs, you're seeing new results, you're meeting new people. So like keep letting yourself shift, all for the highest good. That is what I get for you. And your guardian angel popping out, very divinely protected and guided through this change, and just guarded from things that don't serve you. I don't like the word guarded, because I know there's that connotation of like guarding, but it's more like you're protected from things that don't serve you. So like it's kind of like let life lead is a tandem message I'm getting. I feel like, you know, there's these, it's like the Pleiades. It's like the Pleiades star system. I think this is the Pleiades star system. I'm going to look it up so I'm not just like, but there's 7 stars, and that reminds me of the Pleiades in this card. And you can barely see it with the phone camera right there. They're right up here above this angel. I feel like your divine guidance is coming online too. So pay attention to that if you feel like you're getting nudged divinely. And hey, the next shift is going to bring you a lot of abundance. So that's kind of what I get for you, Bella. I hope that helps, resonates, makes sense. Oh, Golden Opal, you said something earlier, and you asked a question, and the answer was very positive, but I couldn't remember what you asked, so I'm so sorry, Golden Opal. Because I saw that, and I wanted to go back to it, and I kind of got wrapped into doing more questions here. Brenda Chambers, should I go back to work? I would give it a little bit more time, but the answer is yes. That's soon. It would behoove you to do so. I think it'll help you get out of your head as well if you felt stuck in your head at all. Hope that helps. T to Rose, is someone stalking me? Not really, not fully. Maybe someone's like checking you out online, but that's it. Like, I really don't get that you have a stalker, if that makes sense, T to Rose. Hope that helps. Rider Mama 13 asks, in what areas are my gifts? Well, Rider Mama 13, let's delve into that. Something you can do is be a clear channel, if that makes sense, and be like a conduit of the divine and channel. That might take some practice and some shifting realities a little bit, but you can do that. Intuitive is something they're yelling at me, like you're definitely intuitive. I do feel like you have this ability to shine in ways others can't, but I feel like that's very like divine, and it's very subtle, and it's more just like an energy you bring into the room with you. Not so much like, you know, sorry, I'm like trying to find the way to word this, but like yes, you have gifts, but it's like sometimes it's like the energy you bring into the room is a gift as well, in the divine frequency, because it's like you might not walk in with like the with your, you know, your tarot cards in one hand and your crystal ball in another, and your psychic headdress with the jewel on front, and you know, offering $5 readings on the streets, but you definitely uplift people, and that's also part of your path here, is being a presence that like, I don't know if you really like mommy people, but like you kind of help coach people, does that make sense? And yeah, like uplifting, compassionate, maybe nurturing as well. Any other things you have that are gifts? You do have a greater access to your soul wisdom than a lot of people, and this is not to limit anyone else here. or anyone else at all, but that's just one of the messages they're giving. I do feel like you do make people's lives better as well, and I know these are like we're hitting gifts that maybe aren't the gifts you were asking about, but we'll get to those. As far as like etheric gifts or spiritual gifts, I would actually start working with a pendulum if you don't. I feel like a yes/no tool would really help you. By the way, whether it's body pendulum, muscle testing, pendulums, if that resonates for you, I don't know. I have worked with pendulums. I've found body pendulum to be so much more helpful and accurate for me. Maybe I could get a pendulum. It's been years since I've really worked with a pendulum, since I got my body pendulum honed in. But once I got this honed in, I'm like, why am I going to pick up this rock on a string and wiggle that around for a few hours when I can just be like, okay, yes or no? Yes? Okay. Does that make sense? Anyways, and I know it's not you wiggling the thing around. It moves on its own, especially once you get it honed in. Anyways, and someone just asked if your gifts are physical and spiritual. I feel like everyone has both physical and spiritual gifts, but I just wanted to give a quick answer there. As far as like, you're definitely energy sensitive, like empath, intuitive. There is some clairvoyance that's coming without me. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, there is some clairvoyance that's coming online for you too. But I feel like clairaudience and channeling can be a really strong suit for you, if that makes sense. Hope that helps. Be Divine. Be Divine is a mom. She's a good one, too. It's Anna K. asked, is it okay to reconnect with Jason and old friends? It might be better you leave that one in the bag. You kind of leave that one alone. It's like, it would be okay. I think it would just be like, okay. And then, it might not be quite what you want, though. It's Anna K. It's like, it's not bad if you do. It's just like, you might just be like, oh, well, that was weird, after it kind of like plays out for a bit. So I hope that helps. It might not be worth it, despite what you guys might have had in the past. China Moon Girl. Will my boys be okay? Emotionally abusive dad. I do feel like, I don't know if this is the answer that you want to hear. I feel like they are getting very tough because of it. Short answer, yes. There might be some healing they need to do when they're like 18 and up. I feel like as long as you're there for them, and there to listen and there to be helpful and to hold space, they'll be better than you think, if that makes sense. I feel like they know better than to really take it. I don't know how old your boys are. But I feel like they are or will know better than to take what he says personally in a lot of those instances. And you know what? I feel like if they're staying more like, clean and cleared energetically in the highest and best ways, that would help them as well. So even if you just take a second to sage them down, when they're with you or whatever, I feel like that could help. Just kind of get rid of that energy, or just something to set the intention, like, okay, any energies from their dad, not for the highest good. Let's clear that away. Thank you so much, spirit guides, angels, source, for helping me with that. But that's what I get for you. So short answer, yes. I think, like, in a lot of ways they'll become wiser because of it, and I don't really see there being any real damage. Like, yes, there's healing that needs to be done, but it's like, it's not like they're going to be impacted for the rest of their life, except to grow stronger. Does that make sense, China Moon Girl? I hope that helps. That is what I get about the situation. Dan Henry, why I see higher ranking angels while meditating? Why not? Who says anyone's limited to lower ranking angels? In some ways, I feel like ranks are a myth, is what I'm hearing right now. So let's see what the angels have to say. It's like, you're not limited to working with, like, any one, like, ranking or level of angel. because rankings of all angels can be of service. Like I've definitely like worked with the seraphim, and like there's some people who get very heady about like the ranks of angels, and they're like, oh, we can only work with the archangels but not the seraphim, and not the da-da-da, and it's like not quite, because like at the end of the day, like you are source and source is you are God and God is you, so why would you be limited to any rank of angel? And why would any rank of angel like not come to be of service to you? Does that make sense? Because yes, God is everything, so they are God as much as you are God. If that makes sense, it's all one. Yada yada yada. But it's like you're working with different aspects of the divine to a degree. It's like, and to a certain degree, what they're telling me right now is like rankings are a myth. Angels are just angels. Which might make sense to some of you, and to some of you that's going to be so contrary to some of the information out there, you're like, huh? But that's what I hear, that's what I get, so I hope that makes sense. But you're not limited, so why question it? I think you're supposed to. Anyways. And by the way, guys, I'm not really here to regurgitate what else is out there. I feel called to say this. I'm here to say what I get. I found that's been so much more accurate for me than like, oh, so-and-so on YouTube said this, and Lee Harris said that. And I love Lee Harris, by the way. But there are certain things he said that I'm like, that's not what I get. That's not quite true for me. And I always find that life kicks my little behind a little bit, or can. I don't want to say it's always going to, when I like deviate from what I'm getting and go with what someone else says. Because it's just like, it turns out not to be true for me, or down the road. So, So, I don't know. I just wanted to say that. A little disclaimer. I'm not really going to regurgitate what's out there. I'm going to tell you what I'm getting, what my intuitively and channeled-wise get, both about my experiences and just what I get called to say. So, just, I don't know, spoiler alert for some of you. Amanda Nicole, that's actually coming. Amanda Nicole 8787. When will I meet my life partner? That's coming. Also, I want to say really quickly, don't let anything that anyone else says limit you, whether it's like other readers. I feel like in a lot of ways, you have the ability to manifest different. So if someone tells you one thing, you have the ability to manifest another. Does that make sense? Depending on the circumstances. But anyway, when will I meet my life partner? I'm kind of getting... I don't like putting pressure on it, but I do get this year, or soon, otherwise. Like, they were showing me, I hesitate to give a specific month, because I feel like sometimes we get really attached, and then you're like, ah, and then, like, if you meet someone, you're like, is that them? So, I think sometimes I've gravitated towards the wrong people in the past, when I've gotten those messages, because then, you have this connection, and you're like, okay, like, this is a person, you're really cute, it's this year, it's supposed to be this year, you're really attractive, I'm picking up what you're putting down, and then it's just like, it's almost like life punches you in the face a little bit, because you were so attached to it being this person, because you met them at this time that someone said was going to be the time when you met this person. Whew. And I'm not saying I didn't meet the person I'm going to be with in that time frame, but I'm not with them yet, if that makes sense, and it wasn't that person that I'm talking about now. So... no, that's up ahead. I was getting September onwards, probably. They are saying before the end of the year, but like, let that be a little flexible and stretchy. I do trust what comes through, but I also like keep that loose. Like, hold that like a marble rolling around in your hands. Like, maybe you cup your hand so it doesn't fall out of your hand, but you're not like clenching it. Does that make sense? Too. Am I a healer? You are one, and you have the capacity to become a more potent healer as you study yourself and the healing modalities you'd like to either create or bring into your life. I feel like you're someone who really knows how to shift energy for the highest good, or you will. That's something I get. So I hope that helps. Oh dear. Okay. Oof. Sorry, my guys are yelling water at me, so it's water time. I haven't had water. It's been a while. It's been like 2 hours. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to like... Sorry, I'm posthumously blessing the water I already ingested. Thanks for the roses, Destiny Adara. I don't know if like... Because I usually Reiki my water or bless it or something, and when I don't, I notice the difference, and so I need to posthumously bless it. You definitely needed that water? Yeah, for sure. All right, Ashley Alvarez. Is Andy your soulmate, is what you ask. So here... If you're asking like the soulmate as in like your one and only, I don't feel like they're the one per se. An aligned option, yes, at least to a degree, is what I get. But as far as my definition of soulmate, for me, soulmates are people you've incarnated with in past lives, you know, over and over again. So people you're like familiar with on a soul level like that, and you have that kind of soul relationship, if that makes sense. So like in a way, it's like, I feel like in a way, yeah, he's been around in past lives, he's been on the fringe, so it's like, but the answer is like one of many as far as soulmates according to that definition I just gave you. As far as like the one and only that you're supposed to be with, I feel like you're gonna have multiple very aligned options. Some will be soulmate connections, and I don't know if I'm really a super huge like twin flame guy, but I feel like some will have twin flame energies, if that makes sense. So he's a good choice, if that makes sense. Is he like the one and only? Like, not quite. I hope that makes sense as an answer. But a great choice, Andy. Brandon looks so nice in purple, green, and orange. Thank you. Am I wearing? That's cool. I think that's about me. Thank you so much, though. Cat shirt. Yep, it's the cat shirt. Okay, everyone's got to see this magic. Just... I don't know if my guys wanted me to show this, but I feel like this is just a hilarious shirt. I don't know. Sure. Yes, you, Mr. Catcher. Thanks, Deja. I appreciate that. Okay. Someone was asking if they should get a divorce. Hold on. So from cat shirt to divorce question. Shortney RN. If I'm saying that right. Oh, thanks, Earth Angel Amy for the rose. How are you doing, by the way? Oh, thanks, Lori, for the love balloon. Should I get a divorce? I would hold off. I do get no, weirdly. You probably will if you're asking, but right now I would hold off. I think it's like, it's not quite time, but like it will be at a certain point if that's something that just keeps coming up. And I know, like, I always wonder, like, what are the circumstances that it's like not quite yet is the answer, but you probably will down the road? Like, what are the circumstances where that's the answer? Because I do feel like I've gotten that for a few people. But that is what I'm getting. I don't feel like it's the right time. I don't know why. And if it's like abusive, yeah, you should probably leave. But that's what I get. You're welcome, Shortney. Shimei, do I have a future with Luca? I do get yes. I think that's a high probability. But I would be patient and like let that build and don't rush it. You might have to tear down some walls. Maybe even for yourself to let love in more is something that's coming in. So don't let that limit you or hinder you if that doesn't resonate. But that's be sure to be patient with yourself and with them in the process is what I get. Excuse me. Ooh. Oh. I think I already answered a Woodland Wahine question, but it's what I clicked on, so I'll just answer this real quickly. What do my ancestors have to tell you? Yeah, it's interesting. I want to see. I'm getting visuals. I want to like get what the message is before I open my mouth here. Here's what I get, Woodland Wahine, because they're showing like the it's very symbolic, because it's like I'm seeing like the generations and like the torch being passed, and it's like it's your time to carry the torch, if that makes sense. And it's like what their message is like, now is the time to expand. Don't take this literally, because I need to explain this before you jump at the answer. Like, expand what the family line can do was kind of the message, or expand the family line. But what I mean by that is like, as gifts, like spiritual gifts, are developed in a family line or a bloodline, that can be like, not where you lose it when you pass it on, but like that can genetically like be there for the kids when you have kids. Does that make sense? If you already have kids, like, don't worry about it. But it's like, now is the time to expand what the family line can do. And so it's like, by doing that healing work, by like elevating yourself and expanding your gifts, if that makes sense, spiritually or just otherwise, like, you're kind of enhancing bloodlines to come, is what I'm getting, which is interesting. And if you're not sure how to do that, one thing you can manifest is like, okay, I set my gifts expand in the highest and best ways. And so what happens is like your gifts start to broaden. Like, there still is like expanded in the best of ways, because it's like, one time they don't really want me to give the example, but I'll give it. They're saying give it anyway. So like, for instance, like one time I asked for my gifts to expand. I was already channeling and doing other things, but then I found like, instead of just like channeling messages, like my guides would channel motions through me, like pulling cards, or just like if I was like, okay, do I go like, what should I do next? Like, if I was at work, when I was working, I'm like, okay, what should be my next task? And they just like walk me to my next task, if that makes sense. So it's like your gifts expand. It's just like, it's like they go to a broader capacity, and that's something you can definitely manifest. Little known secret, I'd like to say. So anyways, that's one of the messages I have. I think like, they want to remind you you're a great person. You are healing generations. And the more like, I'm not saying like take all this healing work on yourself and going through healing crisis after healing crisis, but the more you're going to kind of steadily showing up for yourself and adjusting yourself, healing yourself, growing yourself, the better generations ahead will be for it, is something I'm hearing. So I hope that helps you, friend. Ruda Rosa Mimosa. Can people manipulate clouds, wind, rain? Yes. I have a lot of stories on this, actually. Which one should I talk about first? I know I made a post on this on TikTok, but I have a few stories I want to dive into on this. One of your tools is just ask, like setting the intention, like manifestation. But like for instance, like I was at the DMV at one point, and it was like this 3-hour line, and it was in the middle of winter, and it was freezing cold. And like when I was about to go there, I was like, I didn't realize cognitively in my brain, it was Saturday and it was gonna be super busy. I thought it was like Wednesday for some reason. Because my 2 days off of work, I worked nights, were like Wednesday and Saturday. So I was just like, oh, it's Wednesday, it'll be fine. And my guides were like, maybe don't go. I'm like, no, I need to get this done. And so I went to the DMV, and it was like this huge line, like it was a big parking lot. And this line was like 6 feet apart because of COVID. So you couldn't go into the building all at once. And there's this huge line wrapped around the parking lot. And it was like a 3 to 4 hour line. It was so dumb. But like, by the time, like when I got there in my car, they're like, maybe don't. I'm like, I just want to get it done. So then I got in line, and my guys and I was like, okay, never mind, I get it now. And they're like, no, stick it out, you'll make it, you'll be fine. I'm like, okay. And I probably could have left, but anyways, like I got like an hour into this line, and I'm like shivering, and like I had warm clothes, but it wasn't like 4 hours in the cold warm clothes, if that makes sense. And so like at a certain point, I was starting to like, okay, how does it get any better than this? I was kind of like trying to ramp up my energies, because you can generate heat when like, when you run Reiki or energies to like keep yourself warm. In a sense, you can kind of just like boost your warmth. I don't know how to explain it. But then at a certain point, like the sun peeked out behind the clouds, I believe after I said like, how does it get any better than this? And so it's like, oh, and so then I was like, okay, how does it get even better than that? And I was like, okay, using all my tools, I was like activating like Reiki symbols and energy work symbols, and I was asking the angels to improve the weather. And at a certain point, like the sun was peeking out more and more behind the clouds. And at a certain point, I heard like, okay, we're going to warm you up, and then you're going to get to the front door, and you're going to be fine, and then you're going to go in. I'm like, okay. And so what happened then was like, there wasn't like a cloud in the sky after like they said that after a few minutes. And then like the temperature just kind of gradually increased. And then by the time I got to the door, it was exactly like they said. I was like, okay. And I took off my coat because I was like warm. I wasn't shivering. I'm like, okay, this works. And then I went inside. But there's other things I've noticed too. Like one time I was out water skiing with with my mom and my stepdad, like last year I want to say, and because their memberships at this water ski, like water skiing is super fun, but also I understand it's kind of like I don't know. Anyways, but there's a lot of wind blowing during this ski trip. I'm like, angels, can you please make the wind stop? I'm like, okay. And I heard like they gave me the affirmation that they heard me. And so the next ski pass that I think my mom did, she was skiing. I was sitting in the boat, kind of spotting. It was funny because she did her ski pass, we went around, we came back, and then she was like, okay, I think the wind died down a lot, noticeably. And then there was still like a bit of a breeze, and I was like, hey, angels, can you make the wind stop? And they're like, no, that's not for the highest good, like, the wind needs to go somewhere. So it was like, but it definitely like, it petered it down to where it was like bearable, if that makes sense. And I think at a certain point I was like, okay, you can make the wind do whatever, and then it started blowing again. So it's like, so a lot of it's just like you need to ask God to change the weather, ask the angels to change the weather. But yes, you can. And I have other stories too, and they want me to tell this other story too. But they're also okay. Guide me through the story if it's for the highest good. So one time I had a friend's wedding, and I was like not new to this stuff, but newer. This was like 2018, I want to say. So this was one of my first experiences really manifesting the weather. But my friend was getting married. I flew out to Colorado to see him, and I'd just gone through this huge like spiritual awakening and the shift, and I was learning I learned Reiki, I was learning this other energy work modality, and et cetera, et cetera. And so this was like a little bit newer for me, but he wasn't super into this stuff, so it was actually a really awkward trip. I'll be honest, to my experience, because it was just like he wanted me to like drink at his wedding. I'm like, oh, I don't really drink anymore, and he was just kind of upset because I didn't drink at his wedding party. Whole story. I don't really. I wish I'm the best, but I don't really interact with a lot of those people anymore. But it's okay. I don't feel like I really super fit in there in the best ways anyways. But all that being said, like for his wedding, we talked about like it was supposed to rain, and I was like, okay, well, what if I tried to manifest the weather? Because we talked about manifesting. And so I did everything in my power. Like I prayed over it. I was activating like energy work symbols from the modality I was learned. I asked the ascended masters and the angels to like keep it from raining. So it was so interesting because the whole wedding day, what happened was like and I also like started visualizing like, okay, like when they're up to exchanging their vows, because it was an outdoor wedding, that's why this mattered with the rain. It was like, okay, like there's gonna be a ray of sun, like the clouds part, and a ray of sun like just shines on them, you know. Like I visualized that a few times as well as I was kind of going about this. And so what happened, it was interesting, a lot of the wedding day, it was cloudy and gloomy, and it's like it wasn't quite raining, but like a lot of what I heard over and over again, it was so interesting from different people. It was like, they're like, oh, is it raining? They're like, well, it's trying, but it's like, they were like, it's trying to rain, but it didn't really rain, and maybe it drizzled like for 15 minutes, like after the ceremony. But during the ceremony, like that moment happened where like they were up there exchanging vows, and like I think this dude's now wife started saying the vow, and the cloud parted, and the ray of sunlight hit her, and like someone in the audience or in the crowd like commented on it too, someone who was an old friend of mine. He's like, it was so weird. It was like, so I kind of kept it to myself, to everyone, that's what happened. But yes, so the short answer is yes, you can manifest weather. Anyways, and sometimes nowadays I do tend to kind of just like go with the flow. Like if I really feel called to or guided to, I will, but I kind of go with the flow and just know like my intention, I guess, and how I flow with it is like the weather will be what it's meant to be. So if like I'm supposed to go somewhere and it's raining, I'll just be like, okay, maybe not today, maybe I'll stay inside and I'm supposed to do something else. So I'll tend to go just trust the synchronicity of the weather, but I also know like if I need to whip it out, I can regarding that. But I guess that's some of what I tell you that story not to be bragging, but to impress upon you some of what's possible as far as manifesting the weather. And I know there's other people who have those stories as well. Hope that helps. Deja, can I change my physical appearance with Source's help? Almost morphing? Here's what you get. To a degree, I think like you can manifest yourself being more attractive. I think it's like just ask. I feel like in some ways it can be energetic, because like as you boost your energies and have better energies, you can become more magnetic and attractive. It's just kind of like you have this energy of attractiveness, if that makes sense. So like, yes, that can like, I don't know if this is just me. Maybe you guys have had the similar experience. And they're saying it's not just me. There's at least a couple other people out there, a handful. But like, there's definitely people where like I'd have a mad crush on like a person or like an ex. Or like one time I was dating this ex. This was forever ago. This is before I was like really into this stuff. And I just thought this girl was like the cutest girl in the world. I was like, oh my gosh, because we were dating. I'm like, you were so attractive, and she's a very attractive girl. I haven't seen her in like eight years, so like I don't who knows what she looks like now. I guess I could like ask, but whatever. But we ended up breaking up because it was long distance. I had moved to Colorado. She was still in Illinois. But I came back to Illinois to visit, family and friends and do some other things. And we just happened to hang out in a group of mutual friends. And it was like, like it's not there. Like once we had broken up and like some of that energy had subsided, like she wasn't as attractive to me. It was very strange. It was like, yeah, I still like had feelings and stuff, but it was like, because that like wasn't there, it was like her physical appearance looked different to me. I have no idea how to explain it. So like I do feel like you can like in a sense like make yourself look more attractive through manifestation, through intention, but also like it can be both physical and like you can also set the intentions, like you're manifesting, like you age well, you look good as you age, and that's important to you. But also don't underestimate the attractiveness of the energies you're bringing to the table, and having really amazing energies, and like the impact your aura has as you step into a healer role or work on your energies and work on yourself that way. Because I found like people can be drawn to people like that as well. Does that make sense? And that's not. So I don't know. Hope that helps, Deja. But yes, be divine. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yes, that can be part of it too. So that can be part of it too. But the answer is yes, you can, and don't feel like you need to get plastic surgery. But I also don't judge anyone who does. So, okay, sorry. Back to the Q&A. There's a lot of story time here. Sally, can I get a general reading? Salafizali Luann. Hopefully I'm I don't know. Oh my gosh, sorry. We have a lot of cards popping out here. I would take some time to reset yourself, and that doesn't mean start from zero. I think it's just like, if you feel like you're rushing around and trying to take care of a bunch of stuff, like take a day just to kind of recenter and just be like me time. I feel like that would be helpful and would help you move forward in better ways. Another thing I'm getting is, I feel like you actually, maybe you could be a bit of a heartbreaker. I don't know if that resonates for you. I have no idea. Or maybe you have been. I don't know. They showed me a key, and they were saying something about you have the key to a lot of people's hearts. And I feel like you're a very compassionate being. I don't know if that resonates, but that's I don't know. And again, like now's the time to be still. So this is Source Dragon. It tunes you to the infinite. Be still. In the silence, magic can happen. Be in the moment. But the message I got was like be still, and that kind of goes with that message that we were talking about earlier. Anyways. And now's a great time to cultivate your magic, where it's more just like manifesting, like what am I meant for? What does my soul want to tell me? What does my soul want in my life for me? And gravitating more towards you on a soul level and seeing what you start to attract and magnetize and manifest that way as you step into who and what you truly are on a higher plane, if that makes sense. That's something I would really recommend, but being still will help you, even if it's just like 20 minutes, every day, where you're just sitting there with your tea or your coffee or whatever and journaling. It'll help you bring a lot of realizations. These cards are like flying out. Royal Blue and Gold Dragon, that's definitely like, what's the message? That's like stand up for yourself. This card's about It strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken to your own majesty, wear your cloak of power with pride. But the message I was getting explicitly was like, stand up for yourself. So like, I wouldn't let yourself be bullied or pushed around. I think you're actually a great person. You do deserve good things. And here's a weird message. So if anyone hurts you, it's like they know not what they do, if that makes sense. That doesn't mean stick around for it and like be there for it. It just means like sometimes there's people around you that just don't know quite how to go about life or to be as aware of others as you can be, if that makes sense. So but I would definitely own your self-worth. I would stand up for yourself. And even just gentle reminders can help people shift out of the ways they're treating you, if that makes sense. Or if you have to walk away, do what you have to do. And you do have better ahead. This card's about bring soul families together, communities together. So like, if you want to be around more of your people, I feel like some of them are there for you. I do feel like there's more on the way as well. So you're going to be meeting a lot of soul family. And again, like there's so much of this message is like get in tune with yourself. Dark blue galactic dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe. A lot of your divine guidance right now is like when you're still and with yourself. And I think that's when like the realizations hit, the knowings hit. You're not so pulled around by like tasks or wearing so many different hats or other people. Just make sure you're taking time to come back to yourself each day. Like maybe just take like a break from scrolling Instagram or whatever and being yourself. Because right now you're coming into balance, and I think you need that. And the more you're taking time for yourself, the more that can happen. I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but I hope that helps you and makes sense. They want to remind you you're a great person, though. Okay, let's keep going here. Tasha Tootie, can you pull a card for me? Absolutely. Oh, Golden Solar Dragon, what's this about? Help you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. I know this is a very Ascension 5th Dimension kind of deck, so if that's your jam, perfect. If not, don't worry. There's other meanings we are delving into right now. So here's the message I get. So if you look at this dragon, there's these are little golden swirls underneath his prancy feet here. And the message I get is walk on a path of light, Tasha Tootie. So like, what does that mean? It's like the more you walk in light, the more light you're spreading. So I want to like get a more of a, it's like an affirmation you could use is like, I walk in light, I walk in light. And like, it's like wherever you go, light is there is kind of like one of the results, but it's like when you walk on a path of light, you're spreading light. And it's like, what does that even mean? I feel like just manifesting it and letting the universe show you what that means is kind of like a good way to go about that. So like just the affirmation, like I walk on a path of light, I walk in light, I walk in light. The more you're like showing up like that, I feel like the more like as you're setting that intention, one, it just shows up. And you start to naturally, they're saying, and train to like that method of being and showing up in the world. But two, like you'll have more joy, you'll have more like areas of light in your life, you'll have less darkness you contend with, because it's like you turn a light on and what happens? There's no darkness, you know? And I know that's not everyone's take on light and darkness. There's a lot of different ways you could look at it, but you're very protected as you walk in light. And this is like a very Archangel Michael kind of card with the sword here, but that's what popped out here. You're very protected as you walk in light. So in a lot of ways, I would stay the course. I think, man, I'm so sorry that there's a lot of like repeating messages for each of you about getting back to yourself, but maybe there's something in the importance. I would also write. You might consider being a writer, or you are a writer. I would write about your experiences and like share your wisdom through writing. For some reason, that's something I would do, like whether even if that's just a blog. For some reason, writing is important, even if it's just journaling. So I hope that helps, Tasha Tootie. Hope that helps you. Coney Island Baby 22, you can also ask them to speak to you in a language you understand. Yes. If that's about talking to guides or anything else. Yes. Anyways. Tamarelli asks, is there a future with Marcus? I get yes, but I would be very flexible with how that turns out, because I think the universe is trying to bring you to better, honestly. I feel like Marcus is a great person. I feel like one question to ask yourself is like, is this the right fit for me? Do our puzzle pieces in our lives really intersect perfectly? Because I feel like it should fit like a glove, if that makes sense. And if you have to make too many stretches, don't do it. Does that make sense, Tamarelli? I feel like yes, Marcus is a good option. I feel like there might be better. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Autumn, is there a future for Tim and I? Thank you. I do get yes. I do feel like patience is a key there. I think like weird message, but I feel like in a way you're gonna have to build to see each other, if that makes sense. It's almost like because you guys are kind of on different levels, if that makes sense. So one of you might have to build a bit more to see eye to eye with the other, like energetically or like how the world works. So it's a good option, is what I'd say. Keep going. Ashley Rittenhouse 8. Well, I cure my depression and anxiety to help others do so as well. I do feel like you will definitely come out of your depression. I would let yourself learn from that and not judge it, because it's like it's kind of showing you things about life you need to see, about like how to heal and like how to evolve and grow and how to let things be as you go through a process. And it's giving you patience for the future. Anxiety, I feel like you'll definitely be able to mitigate and work with. It's just going to be something that doesn't hinder you as much. So like a cure for anxiety, maybe not a cure, but a way to work with it where it's not detrimental and it's more like a friend that helps you and not so much an enemy that you're fighting against, is what I'm getting, as something that you'll come into, Ashley Rittenhouse 8. So yes. Will you be able to help others? Yes, you're going to be a pro. Well, hold on. You can be a pro with it if you want to be. But start taking note of what's working now and what works in different phases of your depression and like different phases of what you're going through. Because there's like multiple tools that will help in different areas at like potentially different times. So you're going to see a lot of like what's effective, what isn't, what helps, what doesn't, and like definitely be able to help others walk their path out of the quote-unquote dark pit of despair and angst and into more light and hope and treasuring life. Hope that helps, Ashley Rittenhouse. Don't stay stuck in any of that. I think you're getting the tools you need to walk yourself out of both. Hope that helps. All right, next question. Getting a call from my landlady. Don't like that, but okay, I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyways, sorry, I got distracted. I'm like, what's that about? Anyways. There's Daniels. What should I meet in his country or mine? I get his, honestly. That's what I'm hearing for that. I think either or works, but I do get his for some reason. I think we answered that. Blissful Lark, I apologize if this is a late answer. Maybe you're still here. Can I share true love with Roger? I get yes. That actually is a high probability I get. You might want to be patient with him as well. I think it's weird. I feel like patience is key for a lot of these love questions today. But I hope that helps. Summerlay 93, Spirit Guide Insight, please. I mean, yes, you have Spirit Guides, if that's one of the questions. You do have a lot of angels around you. Oh, you're probably wanting insight from spirit guides and like in general. But if you want to know about your guides, it's definitely a mix. You do have angels, you do have different things. Like I do feel like Ganesha's there for you as well, Hindu god of removing obstacles. I would expand your creativity, Summerlay. That's something I'd say to you. This is something I get with it. This is not necessarily what this card says, but that's what I get when I see this card. Because there's lava, there's passion. But this card is actually like being of service, and when you give, you receive. But for some reason, expanding your creativity is what I heard. I think you do have a potent ability to manifest and create your reality. They're showing me this little spiral in this tree, and I see like spiral of creation and stuff. Don't rush anything. Black Dragon cocoons you so that your divine potential can grow. I think like now this seems to be a theme, guys, but now is definitely a time to kind of like go within to grow yourself. I wouldn't rush anything, because I think now is a good time to let things sit and percolate, and like as a lot of the realizations you've been having like kind of seep into your being more, you'll kind of naturally start to take action towards your goals and dreams and things you've been wanting to do and see if that makes sense. They're showing me these little sparkles here around this little plant that's cocooned, and they're saying you're sparkly, if that makes sense. So I hope that you're someone who sparkles. I think you add a lot of zest to life and have zest for life, but you add zest to a lot of people's lives is what I'm getting, Summerlay. So keep that in mind. Definitely shine bright. They're showing me the sun here with this golden solar dragon. And it's like being a light for others is kind of the message I'm getting. So you are a light. A quick message too as well is like even just being with people and being present with people can help them shift. Sometimes you don't always have to say anything in particular. Like, yes, if you start channeling and the message start flowing, yes, like say what you're intuitively nudged and guided to say, and what comes through you. Like, let that channeling for the highest good happen. But and no fear about that, by the way. But sometimes like all you need to do is like be present and be still and be with someone, and that can help them energetically to shift. Oh, that helps, Summerlay. That makes sense. Oh, sorry, I accidentally like tapped on your profile and it says crystals are life here, so I love that. Just don't doubt yourself, hey? Curie KJK01, should I take this new job? It's kind of like, it's like, yes, I would, but I feel like there's also something else coming, so I do feel like it's going to be a stepping stone to what you really want, if that makes sense. Oh, Summerlay, you just asked, am I channeling? I need some insight. So yes, we just talked about that. Yes, you have. And you will be, I think, especially as like you intend that and want to step into that, because it's like, I feel like it's part of your work to channel. Doing readings is something you might consider in the future, something like that, whether it's pulling cards. So I, if you want to channel, ask the universe to help you channel. MS Ace 1. Do I have a message from Source? One of the messages right now is keep growing. I think like life has been evolving you. And that might go on for some time, but I think like one thing that's coming through is meant for better. So improving your circumstances is like, if you've had something like, man, I wish this was better, man, I wish this was different, look into it. Like, what will it, even if you're just like, what will it, if you're like, I wish this was better, well, man, like this stinks. Like even just a simple like choice phrase, like what will it take to change that? Like if you notice something that's like, you're like, what will it take to change that? And then like, it's kind of like, how does it get any better than this? Thanks for the rose, Amora. Thanks for the rose, Amora Paciello, if that's how you say that. It's kind of like the post I made recently, like where you ask, how does it get any better than this? And we ask, how does it get any better than this? You're asking the universe to manifest the answer, the intention when you do that. So the same goes for like, what will it take to change this? If something's going on and you want to change it, or if you want to be more specific, what will it take to change this in the highest and best ways? Or what will it take for this to shift in the highest and best ways? Or universe, show me what it will take for that to shift. You know, something like that. So keep that in mind if there's anything you want to change. I would incorporate music in your life more. There's this little cricket, and there's the cricket making the little music notes here. I do feel like there's a lot of luck coming in. This is a general message for everyone here, actually. Take it, receive it or leave it. But for you, they're saying like incorporate music in your life more, even if it's just a dance to move to. Just something you enjoy, something that gets you in a good mood and elevates you. And music can be healing as well. So even if you're just listening to singing bowls or something like that, and pay attention to sound healing in your life. That might be something that's important to you. And you will blossom in the future. They're pointing my eyes to this flower, and they're saying you'll blossom in the future. So be patient with yourself now, because you're growing out of a lot of old patterns and stuck beliefs that have been hindering you, and you coming into better, but you're also meant for better. I hope that helps, MSAs. Destiny Adara, I do get yes, you'll have to be patient with the development. They'll be okay. I do feel like they will talk, because I know you, I think I saw your question a few times. I'm sorry I didn't get to it yet. Like maybe, I do get year 4. There's a bit of a turnaround to year 4 for the better. So stay positive, keep showing up for them. They'll be okay. Yeah. I feel like your kid is a very, in the best ways, a very special being. Sorry, I'm listening. Okay, I need water. Hold on. Oh. May I ask if I'll get the house I want from Amora Paciello? Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I feel like you'll get a house you want. Is it the one you're asking about in particular? I do feel like you have a chance, like a good high chance with this one that you want. If it's not this one, please know you're gonna get something that's better. Okay, that's what they want to say. High probability this one you're asking about, but you will get a house you want. You won't be stuck with something dingy or forlorn or not what you wanted. And hold faith that what you asked for is coming in for you, Amora. What happened to my abilities? I don't feel 100%. I would ask for them back. I feel like you're upshifting and upgrading, and sometimes, not all the time, I don't want to say this is a hard and fast rule for everyone, because I do feel like you can upshift without having a downtime, but sometimes like you just need to take a break and rest and let your systems kind of reset and like process any changes and come back stronger, honestly, is what I get. I do feel like they'll come back. I feel like they'll be a little bit different, so pay attention to how it evolves. I do feel like it'll be better, if that makes sense. But I feel like you're not the only one going through this, is something I want to say as well. But you'll get it back. Should my daughter Sophia pursue music or acting? I feel like both. It's a great time for both, and they'll kind of feed into each other and just kind of help each other out, honestly, is what I get for that. Hope that helps. And if you have to choose, I would do music, but I would do both. Claudia Del Bianchi 2 asks, will I be together with George? I'm getting a high probability. I would definitely give it a chance and hold space for that to work out, because it can, is what I'm getting. Hope that helps you. Okay. Oh, am I muting people on accident? If you're unmuting people, I mute. Thank you, because I feel like there's like a fat finger mute button that's a little unfortunate in the placement here. I am Morgan Lane asked why I lack physical energy, what to do. I feel like that's, for a lot of people, that's been going around. I've noticed it. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she noticed it's been going on around with a lot of people recently, the past few weeks, where people are just like tired. Yeah, because I noticed a few weeks, there's definitely like a turning point where I was just like, bleh. And like, I'm not, like, I don't know what happened, but I think like it'll turn back around and back up like soon. For some reason, September seems like an important month for a lot of these readings and questions right now. But I think like there's a lot of upgrades going on, and like they're saying like take this in the best way possible. But it's almost like, when a computer gets an upgrade, like it's upgrading the operating system and it kind of reboots. I feel like there's a lot of like in the best ways, because you're not starting from zero, but you're recentering. You're not starting from scratch, but it's like a system reset where it's like where you just come back more upgraded and ready to go. That's been happening for a lot of people, I want to say, and so there's a lot of like collective processing that's going on as like higher energies come in and as upgrades happen and as downloads happen. Like sometimes you need to rest and integrate, so life kind of forces you to slow down a little bit and rest and rejuvenate. So you'll bounce back. Everyone that's feeling that will, is what I get. So hope that helps you. Ashley O, should I take the stenography course? Yeah, I feel like there's no reason not to. It might not totally be your jam or the right fit, but it's like, it's worth taking, because I feel like it leads to what is for you. So I hope that helps as an answer. Terry Lynn Lund, my daughter is singing her first concert at House of Blues, and she is 19. Congratulations, that's awesome. Is she ready? Yeah, I feel like she won't be ready if she doesn't do it. Does that make sense? And if she's not ready this time, she'll be ready the next, but she's at least mostly ready, and it's time to put herself out there and shine and do that and like get that experience, and it's only going to help her down the road. So I would definitely not hold off on that opportunity if I were her. I would take it and run, and definitely, yeah, maybe practice and warm up and do all your normal stuff as you would do for a concert, but she's ready, is what I get. Hey, little moon, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Good to see you too. I'm doing pretty well. I'm running through the live today. Libra Mooney 222. Going through so much I can't even say. Please. Sometimes when life is falling apart, it's being put back together in a bigger way in the future. Whatever you're going through is something that's meant to grow you and better you, and it's not meant to hinder you or be your downfall. I would definitely pray for guidance from the universe, and I would pray for ease, like direct guidance, like signs, synchronicities, direct messages, whatever it turns up for you. And I would book a reading with someone you trust. Doesn't have to be me, by the way, Libra Mooney. It could be someone in your area who you like, who you trust, that you can ask more questions and kind of delve things into. But I feel like you just need some reassurance. I feel like you'll get that. But I know, like, there's that quote, life is happening for you, not to you. And sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you're like, ha, 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 you say that. And I've been through those tough times where you're just like, whoa. But if anything's falling apart, it's being rebuilt in a better way, is really what I want to say, or is to be rebuilt in a better way. And I do feel like life is growing you into who you're meant to be. I would definitely take heart, because it won't be rough forever, is also what I'm getting, Libra Mooney. And a lot of this stuff is actually freeing you, is what I'm getting as well with this card. I feel like it's freeing you from some old things that you didn't realize were restricting you, that were, in a sense. I feel like you're going to feel so much better in a year, at least. And you'll definitely have moments in time where you can come up from the water, if that makes sense. But I do feel like freedom is the name of the game. So the more you can nudge things to help yourself be more free, I would do that, honestly. And they're showing me these peacock feathers, and another thing they're saying is it's okay to be confident through any changes, because you are divinely protected, is what I get. I hope that helps, Libra Mooney. I know it is all going to get better.
Not right away. It's going to be like one brick at a time, the rebuilding process or whatever's going on. But you'll be better. You'll be better for it. And life will be improved overall by the end of this. There might be a healing process to go through afterwards, but it's going to be okay long term. I think, and I do feel like you'll be able to help others way more because of this as well. So that's something I get as well. So stick with it, Libra Mooney. Everything will be okay. Guess what, guys? I didn't clean a thing. It's okay. I need to clean my apartment too. So I don't know why I find that funny. Julie Eileen, do you see Rob contacting me? Not really. Maybe to a limited capacity. I would really not hold out. I would move along. That's what I get. By the way, I love you guys. I love watching you. Oh, there's a cat. He almost got a bird outside. Sorry, I don't know. You guys want to see the cat? No, he disappeared in the bushes like that Simpson meme where he just kind of like disappears. I wanted to show you guys the cat, but Adam 13, I would greatly appreciate the message. Stand in your power. You are getting a lot of etheric downloads right now too. They're showing me this with this card. And it's also the message is you're more powerful than you realize. I feel like you have options to make choices and changes in your life that you don't see. I feel like the more you're owning your worth and power right now, the less bullcrap you're going to be putting up with, and the better things are going to get for you. So I would definitely be firm with others as well. Like when you're giving advice, when you're communicating, it's not like mean. It's just like there's a difference between like what's an example I could give? There's a difference between like if you're just frank and calm and kind, you're like, hey, I really don't like when you talk with me that way. Sure, I can kind of understand where you're coming from and why you'd say that, but I don't really appreciate that. I'd love it if you change how you communicate with me in the future, because it makes it very difficult for me to be calm and approach you in a mindful manner, and I really want to be the best I can be for both of us. Can you please talk to me a little bit differently? And that's obscenely calm, because I'm not talking to anyone while I'm saying that. I know you might be shaking while you say it, but like, you know, like there's a way to communicate that's firm, that you're in your power, you have clarity. You're not really like laying down to be steamrolled. You're just like, hey, like I'm here too. I matter. Please like treat me with respect. I want nothing but the best for you, but I really need this from you, you know? So however that resonates for you, they showed me this image here. Well, they pointed my eyes to this card, to his hands, and it's like, the message I'm getting is open your hands to receive, like your blessings that are meant for you. I feel like the universe is trying to give to you, or will soon. So it's time to just kind of be open to new things on the way, or blessings. And you know what? I want to tell a funny story, and it could be so much bigger than this too, guys. But there was a yoga pose. I remember like when I worked in a grocery store, I was stocking like this yogi tea or whatever. And thanks, Yuda. Yes, water for sure. And I looked at the side, and there was like this yoga pose for receiving blessings. And like, it's funny because like I've done that pose before, and it's just like you just kind of like kneel and you have your hands like this. But it's saying an intention like, okay, universe, I open to receive my blessings in the highest and best ways for me. I open to receive the blessings that are for me. And I always feel the energy of like the blessings flowing to my hands and to me when I do this. One time when I was at break at work, I know I have a lot of work stories, and this is a small instance. You can do it for longer. You can intend that as bigger blessings and for bigger things too. I'm not going to limit you saying it's going to be this, but one time I remember like I was hungry at work, and I was on break, I think, and I was like, well, I only have 2 hours or whatever, but I just sat there with my hands under the table. I was like, okay, open up. I'm like, okay, universe, I open to receive my blessings. And I felt the energy pour into my hands, and like 30 seconds later, there's like a pizza, you know, there's the prep foods at Whole Foods, they cook pizzas. Like this dude just walks in with a pizza. It's like, hey, I've got an extra pizza for you guys if you want it. I'm like, sweet, there it is. There's my blessings. One of my blessings, you know. It was a very instant, like 30-second later sort of thing. But that's just the intentionality of opening to receive your blessings can be all that you need to start receiving your blessings. That makes sense. I open to receive in the highest and best ways for me. So that's what I get for you, Adam 13. Hope that helps. Izzy Music, hi. Of course, it can be so much bigger than just like a pizza, you know, but it's like, that's just a brief example of like, also, I want to say this, and I don't want to limit you guys because it can be big and huge right away with a lot of these things. But sometimes if you do something and the results are like small, like let's say you're like, I open to inspiring with my gifts. I open to inspiring with my gifts. Because like one time I guess like I think I was just scrolling through YouTube, and sometimes the oracle is social media, so I'll just scroll and like the title of a YouTube video is my answer to something I'm holding in my question, or just something that's on my mind, and I scroll and there's the answer, like a YouTube title or something like that, or like an Instagram post. It doesn't always have, like sometimes I'll click on general readings I'm guided to and watch those. I love, for some reason, watching general readings is one of my pastimes, even if I don't need them. But anyways, one time I think I saw like a title and it was like, you have high value gifts that inspire. I'm like, oh, cool. I think it just made sense because I just started going live on TikTok, but I thought I loved the intention of that. So I'm like, yes, I have high value gifts that inspire. I remember like I went to work the next night because I worked nights, and like sometime like one of my other coworkers came up and she's like, oh man, like you always just have so much energy and you're always just like really going at it. Like every time I come in, but it's like 3 a.m. and she's like, I don't know how you do it, but it's so inspiring. I'm like, okay, universe. Like, I get it. That's a gift that inspires. And like, I do see the value in that. But if it's not, keep showing up and keep asking and keep reiterating and asking different ways if it's not what you want right away, because you can keep boosting that gift and you keep telling the universe, okay, thank you, that was great, but I want a bit more. Like, I want a lot more. And so like, as you keep showing up and reiterating the intentions, if it shows up and it's not quite what you were looking for, it does show up what you want, if that makes sense. So that's something I wanted to say to you guys as well. So general guidance for change. Sorry, I don't know where that even came from, Izzy Music. How did I get here? Anyways, for you, Izzy Music, I would stay grounded to a certain degree. I wouldn't be too floaty right now, but get your feet out on the bare earth or do whatever you need to do for grounding. Easy way to ground, guys, if you just like, okay, Gaia, please send up the highest and best energies to me to ground me optimally. Thank you so much. And so it's just a quick way. There we go. It's a quick way to ground and be more present, and that way you're grounding optimally as well. Scorpio baby, will my situation get better anytime too? I get yes, but it's gonna be step by step, and you're gonna be walking yourself out of a lot of the detrimental situations. So it's like you're gonna meet the universe halfway. Like, you'll take a step, the universe makes it better. The universe makes it better, you take a step. So just keep walking yourself out of it, if that makes sense. It's like, what's the one choice or change you can make right now that gives you more breathing room or makes things a little bit better? And make it, even if it's scary, and then it's like the domino effect opens up. Usually the next step on the pathway opens up after you do that. I hope that helps, Scorpio baby. Anyways, general guidance for Izzy Music for change. Weird question, not a question. I would ask for what doesn't serve you. That's for the highest good to be transmuted. Archangel Zadkiel here. It's time for transmutation. Carry the violet flame. Sometimes you can just manifest that the change is smooth, or just help the transition along through your intentions as well, Izzy Music. All changes leading to better. I do feel like you'll have increased love in your life as a result of change, by the way. So I think change is a good thing long term. Even if it's scary, I would release the fears and know you're divinely protected and guided through it. I would listen to your internal world, because bats have sonar, right? It's very like, so it's like listening to like how you're feeling with your energetic sensors, and just like, how do you feel about this choice? How do you feel about this choice and this person? Because you're being guided through it, perhaps unbeknownst to you. And look, Archangel Hope on the horizon. The universe is going to be blessing you and giving you better perspectives and like what you need to move ahead as well. And all the tools, I feel like you have most of the tools you need, but you're getting more that will help you. So Archangel Hope, look for cosmic gifts. Remember, you deserve it, and that's from the universe. So pay attention to rainbows as a sign. Text just thanks for the roses, but that's what I get as well. I would also voice your opinions, Izzy Music. I see you use Izzy Music, maybe you sing, but this always reminds me of like a microphone, this flower, and she always seems like she's kind of speaking or singing. But this woman is ready to speak up, this seraphim, Seraphisa. Relax and open up to source, keep your heart open. Yeah, I'd definitely say like, try to keep your heart open as things change, because it's like, nothing's out to get you. It's just like, I feel like you'll find all the changes are for the better, if that makes sense. I would also study up if you're trying to learn anything and know, like, I see so many cards where it looks like archangels are offering things. So I just feel like you're going to get, like, the offers you need to move ahead. I would try not to reject too many offers, like, of help from other people, from you know, or organizations or whatever. I think now's a good time to receive. Receiving will help you through this change much more easily. I hope that helps. Izzy Music. Thank you so much. I'm resistant to it, but I need to open up to this part. Yeah. It will help a lot. It will help a ton, honestly. Okay. Kathleen, F711. Is my daughter okay? She passed less than 2 years ago. I'm sorry to hear that. Yes. Like, I literally hear the words, I'm okay, Mom. Things are actually great on the other side. I never get a negative answer from people who've passed on loved ones. She wishes to tell you that she loves you. I do feel like it's, for some reason, what she's saying is it was meant to be this way. I think in a lot of ways things are better up there than they were down here for her. And that's not a judgment to anything you provided as parents, because she's actually absolutely grateful for you guys doing the best you could do, but she's sending your love and your support through any times of stress or anything like that. But that's one thing I hear for you, if that makes sense. I'm on a call. Hi. Hi.
What kind of service do you have?
For internet? I have WoW for internet. WoW.
Wow. So does apartment 4.
Okay.
Okay. Because I got a single guy that wants to come in here who's an insurance agent.
Okay.
And he works from home. These guys are moving out.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Sorry about all the trouble this month.
No worries. It didn't affect me too much. I know it was more of the, but yeah, no worries at all. I understand.
Right.
Cool. You're welcome. Sorry, that was a landlady. Got distracted by so all that to say, yes, your daughter is very okay, if that makes sense. You're welcome, Kathleen. Sorry, that was a bit of a pattern interrupt for me. Thanks for the fire, right-a-bye. Appreciate it. Hey, what happened? Neighbors being rude? So I did have some neighbors who moved in across the hall, and it was during Mercury in retrograde, so I'm like, hey, this will be interesting. Not to put that judgment out there, but they moved in, and they were a bit younger. They're just a bit more like definitely like maybe some light drugs involved with them, but they'd be really noisy. They'd throw parties and kind of go in late into the night. And so the neighbor above them in my apartment complex got really annoyed. It's a small, like, four apartment complex building. So it didn't bother me. There was a little bit of fighting and stuff that I heard through the walls. I was like, it just like is what it is, you know. But it didn't bother me as much because I'm across the way. But the dude above them was like, no. He just didn't feel safe or respected, so he kind of, I don't like the word tattled, but he kind of went to the landlady about it at a certain point because it was too much for him. So that's what that was, and so they're moving out. Spirit is tired of fast food, I swear. Yeah. Yeah, don't work fast food, guys, if you're working fast food. I know it's definitely, it's good if that's what you need and you have it, but I would try to move on if you work fast food. Anyone here? It's not worth it. I don't know why I'm feeling compelled to say that, but that's what they're saying real quickly. Do what you got to do in the meantime, but I think there's better, and you deserve to be treated better if they don't treat you well. I don't know if anyone works fast food here, but also, yeah, I always feel not so great when I eat fast food, depending on the place. Call me Jess. Will things get serious with Jess? I get yes. If you want, more serious than you realize is what I get. I think it's worth it to try and have things be serious with Josh, by the way. Call me Jess is what I'm getting. I hated working in fast food. I used to work at Wendy's and it was awful. Yeah, I'm grateful that's a job I didn't have to work. And I won't. My guys are saying, thank God. Excuse me. I don't know. I just feel like you should just pay people more to deal with the public, or like you should definitely have like what would happen like, what would happen if some like the CEOs or people higher up in the company were like forced to work with the public for a year? Like, what would happen as far as like salary or anything else? Like, would there be less exploitation? They might just quit the job and industry altogether. I don't know. My guide said me not to say it. They were like, stop, don't say it. So I'm sorry. But I think, yeah, always be kind to service industry workers. They go through more than people realize. Yeah, especially like restaurants. I've worked retail before. Restaurants were my least. I worked at a restaurant job for a year. That was my least favorite thing. It was my first job. I'm like, oh man, I never want to work again. But then but even just like retail was so much better. I'm like, oh wow, it can be like kind of chill sometimes. Like, anyways, okay. What does my spirit guide say about surgery I want? So keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. I am getting to hold off. It will be okay if you get it though. Like, do what you have to do, but if you haven't, I would try natural remedies first. If it's life-threatening, like, yes, listen to your doctor. Do what you got to do. I am not a doctor, disclaimer and stuff. But try and fix it with like natural remedies if you can, like Reiki. I don't know if Ayurvedic even makes sense for your situation, but I don't know. I think it's worth getting if you need to, and if you sit with it and you're like, no, I want it. It won't be detrimental, I don't think. But I feel like either way you'll be okay, is the message. Icons of hope. That's what I hear with that card. So so sit with yourself and see if it feels right to your body too. There's another thing I want to say. I know that's not like a very yes or no answer, but sometimes yes or no answers aren't the answer. It's like a bit of both. It's like there's some give and take there. So get it if you want, but I would hold off for a bit if you can. I don't know, unless it's like urgent. Trust yourself in your situation too. Monstheim, is my first project going to pay off? Yes, long run is what I get. I think it's worth doing. I feel like it'll lead you to the next project that's even better. Don't give up on it, I would say. It's definitely like worth seeing through. I don't like this news. It's like, don't bank fully on it yet, but bank fully on it long term. Does that make sense? Especially to get other projects going. Does that make any sense, Ty? But definitely hold faith. It's like, you are worthy of success. I do feel like you have a lot of ideas that can be successful, if that makes sense. But keep going with the project is the overall messages I'm getting. So I hope that makes sense and resonates for your situation. But let it evolve and be in flux, and don't be afraid to incorporate other projects too as you go. Hope that helps, Ty. But yes, the short answer is yes, keep going with it. No, I don't want to mute you. Why? I'm so sorry, Ty. How many people did I accidentally mute today that they moved that mute button right there? I feel like I don't know what to do about this. Could someone help me unmute Ty there? I'm so sorry. Thanks, Be Divine. I love you. Queen Mara Knight. Am I on the right path to remembering my mission? Yes. Very. Keep going. Maybe. Oh, Deja. They were spamming, so I unmuted them for you. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought I muted them for some reason. Really quickly, Scorpio Baby 1, 2, 3. I'm 18 and pregnant and been through a lot of trauma since I've been beat and alone. My gosh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that because it's a lot. You are okay. Archangel Hope popping out right away. You are gonna have better ahead. I would take as much support as you can get from people that are trustworthy. I don't know if you need to hear this or anything, but definitely stay away from like anything like drugs or anything that could be detrimental, because now is like the time. I feel like you're kind of at a turning point and or at crossroads where it's like things can get better. I would like choose all the healthy options that come your way. I would receive as much support as you can from people. I don't know how you are with your parents. If there's a parent that's kind and that's not too rough to work with, I would reach out to help from them as well. I do feel like you'll have the people coming in who will support you through it, whether it's friends. I would try to not date people for a second if you can. I feel like for some reason that'll just get you into more trouble. So hold off on dating people, but like if people are there for you as a friend, I would take that. I feel like you'll have the resources you need to take care of everything, but I would definitely also like, even if you're just on, if you're just like talking to the universe, you're just like, please get me what I need, get me the help I need, get me the support I need, get me the resources I need. It's all on the way. It's just going to be, it's almost like a drip feed, like you get this thing, you get this thing. But you are starting to magnetize what you need. As we speak here, I feel like, and just in general, I think you've been becoming more magnetic slowly, where you're attracting more of what you need. So be patient. That's coming in. What else? If you have I'm not sure what your living situation is. If you have a friend to stay with, that if you need a friend to stay with them. Just make sure you're surrounding yourself with trustworthy people. I feel like you're not going to be abused much longer. I think you've had enough. It's time to put an end to that. I feel like I would also make sure you're making the shifts within yourself that you need to make better judgment calls. I'm not saying this is your fault and how dare you get pregnant and get beat, because like no one chooses, no one blatantly like wants that ever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like knowing your value and knowing you can have better, and it's okay to forgive yourself for past choices, because like you do have like that baby on the way. You're gonna make better choices for the baby. You're gonna make better choices for you. I guess if you feel like there's a crowd that helps put you into that mess, I guess one of the messages is make sure you're staying away from the crowd that puts you into that mess, if that makes sense. Oh my gosh, phone falling. Hope that helps, Scorpio baby, but I'm sorry to hear all that. I know that's a lot to go through. Okay, let's keep going here. A few more. Ajia Leilani asks, should I stay with Forrester? I get yes, as long as it's, for now at least. I feel like it's worth staying, if that makes sense. That's what I'm getting. Of course, go with your guy. I feel like you're protected in that situation. Guardian Angel popping out here. Thanks. Who said my new friend? I love that shirt. Thank you. I love this shirt too. Okay, next question. Dogs and vodkas. Okay. Renee, what are my natural talents? You are a gift to others, just through your natural presence. I feel like, let's see. I feel like you're another person who's meant to shine here. I feel like you're glowing, actually. They're showing this water. There's like this glowing light in the wave, and so the message is you're glowing. I feel like you're someone who can help people see their truth. It's like illuminating. I would also try to stay away from conspiracy theories, by the way, Renee. I don't know why that's coming through, but that's something they want to say. But Archangel Aurora, welcome new beginnings. Let the sun shine in your life. And yeah, let's talk about that shining, that glowing, illuminating. I feel like you help others through a lot of their stuff, whether it's trauma. You're just like a natural gift to others in the world in that way. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because there's like an ambulance and a fire truck behind me. I'm like, ooh, flashing lights. I feel like you also have the ability to see things clearly, dogs and vods, Renee. And you have the ability, I feel like I'm hitting on the same point in different ways. You have the ability to show others light, but let's see what else is coming through, like spiritual gifts. You're definitely claircognizant, where you just have a knowing, or that's something that's unveiling. Sometimes you know just what to say. Like if someone comes to you for advice, it's very like, it just kind of flows through you. And you're someone who's very sturdy for others, like a very solid like force to be reckoned with, in a way where like people can depend on you, and people can lean on you. A lot of healer energy as well. You can definitely work on your gifts and become more healing to others. And clarity and discernment are very strong suits for you. The Archangel Michael here, popping out here. So, what else? What are some other natural talents for you? I feel like being in tune with your surroundings as well, and just picking up on the energies, like empath kind of stuff. But emotional healing, definitely. That's some of it. I wouldn't limit yourself to that, but that's some of what's coming through. I hope that helps, Renee. Okay. Oh, let's see. Hydrate. Thanks for feeling black and white. Yes. Okay. Did I answer this? Am I on the right path to remembering my mission? Yeah, yes, honestly. Pretty hard to miss, I feel. You will. We got that. Okay. I think I'm hitting my, I don't know if it's the wall or what. Sorry, my hair's getting a little, whew. I need 1 second, guys. Coming on to earth for a second here. Okay. Sitting on the toilet. You're welcome. Says thank you for doing this. That username is funny. Terry Lynn Lund. Is this my last life on earth? No, but you can always ask for better lifetimes ahead when you really didn't like this one. If you really didn't like this one. You've been very high energy today. Thank you. You've been on quite a while today. Yeah, it's been about 3 hours. River, yes, you do. Your intuition's rising. I think you're still uncovering a lot of your gifts, but I think you had more than you bargained for if you take that journey. I feel like learning Reiki would help you uncover that, because that can kind of just like reinstate or remind us of our natural connection, or just kind of hone that in more. It kind of very naturally brings us back to our natural gifts and abilities and uncovers those. Reiki or other energy work modalities that resonate with you. So clairvoyance could be strong. I feel like mediumship right about is something you could do as well for some reason. I think that's something you're still unveiling, and like life's still walking you to it and through it. But like, I feel like if you started pulling cards, maybe not right this second, maybe if you started pulling cards, you'd start hearing answers. You'd be like, what? And maybe not right away. It might take a bit to unearth some of your gifts and like step into it more. But yes, you do have gifts. Mediumship, claircognizance, intuition. And I want to remind you guys, you're not limited to the gifts I say here when I answer your questions. You're welcome, right about? Absolutely. There's more to it. A lot of you guys have more gifts, and like gifts can evolve and grow and expand and become more fine-tuned and honed in. So it might start you off with a general like, yes, you could channel, but then it's like, okay, is it more automatic writing? Is it like you're hearing messages? Is it just working through you? You know, it can look a little bit different for each person depending on where you're at, but like your gifts can also grow and expand and evolve and go deeper, become better, if that makes sense. Too cool, party ghoul. I feel like you're supposed to be a healer, at least part-time. But I feel like it's multiple modalities. I feel like it'd be crystal healing. I feel like energy work would be huge, but I feel like there's no one thing. Like you might start with Reiki, but then you're like, I also want to do. I haven't really resonated with quantum healing, honestly. I don't feel like it's been my jam based on the energies I feel from it. I feel like, but also I've channeled through my own modalities, so like, why would I be pulled around to 20 million different modalities, if that makes sense? But for you two cool party ghoul, I'd say there's multiple things I might call to you. Okay. And sorry, this Q&A is very sporadic, guys, when I go through it. Sometimes it has things from like 4 hours ago. Sometimes it only shows me 10 questions. Sometimes it shows me all the questions ever. Up a little bit. Answered that one. What's her name? Asks Caitlin, what career will make me feel fulfilled? I think there's multiple options that would kind of lead to the same place. Anywhere you're helping people directly, even if that was like as a therapist, if it's healing, like we're talking about, it could be card readings on Instagram. As long as you're helping others, and working with spirituality, I feel like that would be very fulfilling to you. And I know that there's a lot of different people that might feel called to that. But I feel like anything where you're nurturing as well. I feel like you're like a natural caregiver. You're someone who's nurturing. I know the caregiver field can be a bit of a rough one unless you're built for it. So take that with a grain of salt. Go with what resonates on that. But anything you're helping people, it's not super stressful. You don't feel like you're going a million miles per hour. You have a bit more peace in your day-to-day. Would probably be a good thing for you. But I'm getting therapy is a good option. But, keep that in the back of your pocket and just kind of like, these are like suggestions that are leading you closer to the truth of what's for you. The universe will walk you into it. And I'm not saying I don't nail it. I'm just saying like, you're being walked towards that even as we speak. And the other thing to keep in mind is like, there's intentions in your guys' questions as well. Like, what career will make me feel fulfilled? You're already, by asking that, putting that into the universe for that to be manifested and shown to you as well. So I'll give you the answer I'm getting. At the same time, you're already manifesting that career through this, if that makes sense. So never underestimate the power of asking a question. Tiny Heathen 95, thank you, Brandon, for your time and energy. You're welcome. I hope this has been good. Okay, sorry. I need to stop. Maybe I'll hang out for a bit, but I need to stop. My guy just said I need to stop. But I love you guys. Can I do a general message for everyone here in case you didn't get your answer explained? Sorry, they want me to. Okay, can you explain 5D, please? Yeah, let's see what they bring through. Because it's an interesting question. A lot of like 5D stuff, because you're going to hear a few different things from a few different people. But as far as Ascension, I'll answer like this. Maybe I'll do a general reading, and then we'll kind of close the live out here, guys. I think, because otherwise I'm just like, I'm hitting that point. So 5D. Think of it as a higher vibrational way of being. And think of the earth like ascending to a higher vibration, a higher dimensional frequency bandwidth, if that makes sense. Because it's like, to me, and this is my understanding in my thing, I get a little annoyed this is my thing, this isn't like they're doing it wrong, because they just mean something different with their, it's something where, with their semantics. But a lot of tarot readers, you'll be like, they'll talk about the 5D and the 3D, but a lot of Ascension, what it is about like embodying that 5D and being more fifth dimensional while being embodied, if that makes sense. So like I always get annoyed because it's like, well, it's to me it's like etheric and physical as a differentiator, not like 5D and 3D, because it's like no, it's 5D physical. It's a physical ascension. You can already step into a fifth dimensional bandwidth and way of being just through intention alone. For instance, like in the highest and best ways, I asked to be in an ascended fifth dimensional state. Now, you feel that shift. So then you get accustomed to that 5D energy. You can also be like, okay, I asked to be 5D or better at all times going forward. Angels, please, for the highest good, should it be in the highest good, remove anything not allowing that to show up for me. Or if I'll use the Access Consciousness tool, their clearing statement, which is trademarked, I think, but I'll run it really quickly. So like anything not allowing me to be 5D or higher and better from this moment onwards, I uncreate and destroy, right and wrong, good and bad, pun and puck, all nine choice boys and beyonds. and different people have different understandings, but you can definitely hold a higher dimensional resonance and frequency while being here in the physical, if that makes sense. So a lot of it's about ascension and just coming from a higher, more divine perspective, where there's like it's more magnetic, there's more ease, there's more magic. Life's more like heaven on earth, more of a paradise. And like if you ask, the universe will walk you into it, if that makes sense, is what I'd like to say. That's a bit of my understanding. I know that's a bit loose, and I didn't go like super deep into it, because you might go on YouTube and there's like the ascension coaches and the way showers and the gatekeepers and the grid keepers and the da 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 da. But I feel like through intention alone you can ascend. I feel like if people put any like hard and fast rules onto you as far as what 5D is that don't feel right, you don't have to buy everything everyone says, because the universe is leading us into our own understandings of like what is 5D, and how do I best incorporate this higher dimensional way of being in my life. But think of like higher consciousness, being more awakened, being more connected, holding a higher resonance in your day-to-day, more peace, more flow, more ease, if that makes sense. So that's some of what I get with 5D. It's very like ascension process, but also like you can hold and call upon higher dimensional frequencies than just 5D. I love, honestly, one time I'll tell a quick story. One time I was hanging out with a friend, and this was like way early in I was very like, part of what got me into this was a woman who was super into ascension. And like, so that's like, it was a very strong part of my awakening circa 2017 as I got into channeling and this stuff more. But I remember hanging out with a friend, and we were sitting there, and like the vibration, like sometimes when you just hang out, when you talk about this stuff and you're channeling and you're doing intuitive work and building crystal grids and all that stuff, like the vibration just like, whoa, thanks for all the roses, Nicole Thames. The vibration really skyrockets. And so one thing that happened, I was like, whoa, this is like one of the highest vibrations I think I've felt, in a conversation, now that I'm more like energetically aware and into this stuff. And so, but one of the things that I was like, I wonder what dimensional vibration we're at. And so she busted out a pendulum. She's like, well, let's check. And so she's like, okay. So she started at 3, and she was like, okay, 3. And the pendulum was like at no. And she's like, okay, 4. I was like, no. And she was good with the pendulum, so I trusted it. 5, it was like, no. It's like 6, like, no. 7, no. And so it went up to 9. And so like, and that's how I got accustomed to like certain like higher dimensional frequencies, is like, because like it was very much like the experience was like with 9th dimensional frequencies, and that bandwidth was like, you're like high up above the world, like there's no judgment, there's nothing wrong, very peaceful. And if you want this, you can just say yes please, should it be in the highest good. I'll just ask that source sends 9th dimensional frequencies to you around your room so you can experience it. Should it be in the highest good? So you can say yes please. If no, you don't have to say anything, you don't have to accept this. But should it be in the highest good for those listening who want to experience this? I ask that their room is flooded with the highest and best 9th dimensional frequencies from source, to give them a taste and an experience of 9th dimensional living and experience. Thank you. And frequencies. And me as well here. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, so some of you guys might feel that if you're energetically sensitive and you're feeling that 9th dimensional frequency. It's just very like calm, at peace, just like nothing. Yes, things matter, but it's just less burdens, I guess. Hope that even makes sense to you guys who are feeling that and doing that. You're welcome, my new friends, and let your understanding be loose until the universe brings you into a better understanding that's right for you as well. Hope that helps. Yes, instant uplift, healing movement. Yeah, exactly. So that's another way to work with those frequencies, by the way. Anyways, I want to do a quick general reading before I part ways with you guys for the day. A lot of your healing work, not all of you, is almost complete, I feel like. But this is like a long cycle of healing, where it's like healing. I don't know if the words healing your soul even resonates for you guys, but like healing soul cycles is what I'm hearing, which is interesting, because that's not necessarily my framework, but whatever, this is for you guys. But it's like, there's like just a lot of completion energies and a lot of like becoming more healed and moving forward in higher and better ways because of that, where you're less like wounded, or you're aware of yourself to the point where your wounds don't dictate your reality so much anymore, if that makes sense. So all of you here are becoming more healed. There is so much divine protection and guidance right now available to all of you. No one here is ignored by the divine. No one is anyways at all. But you're all divinely protected and being guided to better is what I hear. Any shifts and changes are actually like for improvement purposes. It's like they're showing me 8 of Pentacles in my mind's eye. It's to build. It's not really to tear you down. It's more just to like build you up and lay stronger foundations for the future that you might need going forward. I feel like a lot of you are elevating to a high degree. I know abundance, I've been getting abundance as a theme, if that makes sense, but what I get is like there's more abundance on the way. So I feel like abundance has been a theme. I've definitely seen an upshift of abundance since I started channeling about it. We started talking about upshifts of abundance for a lot of people on my TikToks and stuff and readings, but I'm getting that for everyone here, where it's like the years ahead. It's like it can be, maybe there's jolts, but it's like gradual improvements and shifts, and big ones too for some of you. Don't let it limit you how it shows up to abundance, where it's like life just is more abundant. You have more of what you need. It's more emotional fulfillment. It's more of what you want as well. I feel like each of you here is learning to manifest better. I would try to do your last vestiges of healing work. I feel like if there are any blocks, I'm not a big fan of the word blocks because it's like, who says there has to be blocks in the first place? But if there are any, they won't be there much longer. I think like there's just a lot more divine frequency flooding the planet Earth, and that's going to be something that elevates people further here. And I think people are going to find themselves more gifted, more intuitive, more inclined to spirituality, more enlightened, just more elevated. So I don't feel like anyone here is really on the wrong track, if that makes sense. I think like some of you might be halfway there, some of you are golden and you're like totally good. But ask to be bumped on the right path gently or brought to it, your highest fulfilling path, or even like intentions like I open to my highest potential, and that will like show up for you guys, if that makes sense. So also, quick message for everyone here. They're giving me the message like bring the heat, and you know, like the Miami Heat, the basketball team, they showed me that symbol. So what does that mean? I think it's time to start showing up in a bigger way. I think that's for yourself, that's for your calling, that's for life. So if you feel called to like show up in a bigger way and be more outspoken, or be hitting your passions and projects even harder, like it's about time soon to like do that and to really like bring the heat, if that makes sense, to put more pressure on things you want to see in your life by taking action. Not that it's not on the way anyways, but that's what I get. And again, along with that healing message, I get the old is almost transmuted, golden, silver, violet, flame dragon. So that's a great message. I think it's like if you feel like you've already been a butterfly person, there's this meme that's online. It's like, you know, like you turn into a butterfly person, and it's difficult to talk to caterpillar people because they don't know what you're saying because you're a butterfly. It's like if you're a butterfly person, you're going to be more of a butterfly person. You're just like a double butterfly. It's like evolution times 10, if that makes sense. So it's like, you're going further than you've ever gone before, and a lot of the work you're doing in ascension and healing, however that resonates for you, it's going to be a little bit different for each of you, but I feel like it's a very spiritual what we're talking about here. So keep that in mind. And Source is with you, Source Dragon, and guiding you through these next steps. And pay attention to what's roadblocked and pay attention to what like opens up for you, because you're each being divinely guided, where it's like if it's really not meant for you, the road closes and you're shifted over to the path that's right for you. But you're all heading in the right direction. I hope that helps. That's what I have. Hold on. I do feel like wisdom is on the rise worldwide, but especially this group here, there's so much wisdom coming in, and like either forgotten wisdom or like wisdom of the soul that's like on the rise, where you're just going to be going forward more wisely anyhow, than perhaps ever before. And it's time for that, because I think like, you've already seen a lot of the shifts you need, been through a lot of the experiences you have to build more wisdom. So now it's time to start putting that into action and building that and incorporating that into your life and choices for the road ahead. So, but it is time to take action for a lot of you. And I feel like you all will shine in your ways, if that makes sense. However you're meant to, whatever your calling is, whatever makes you feel fulfilled, the time is coming to shine. It's going to be a little bit different for each of you, but it's like 2024 at the latest, okay? I would start building now. You might be shining now, and you're going to shine more, or you're coming into whatever you need to shine brighter. I do feel like you're all purifying. and becoming more pure, but that's just to set an example for other people around you as well. That's it. I feel like Archangel Gabriel is with this crowd. I don't know why that's popping in, but pay attention to Archangel Gabriel, or seeing like trumpets or horns or whatever, brass instruments resonate with you that Archangel Gabriel would play. Because I see like a lot of messengers. So just pay attention to messages and like the messages you're getting, the messages you're giving. There's like just a lot of communication flying around that's on the earth plane and in the etheric. So I don't know. That's what I get. Just maybe work with Archangel Gabriel if that resonates. Oh, thanks for the flowers, Nicole Thames, and Michelle for the roses. I appreciate you guys so much. The airplane on your shirt said soar. Nice. Yeah, I can see that. I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about, I think, with that. Yeah. Heck yeah. It's time to soar. You're welcome, Banana Bell. Good to see ya. Will Child Def resonates. Perfect. You're welcome, Deja. You're welcome. Also, huge shout out to Deja, Be Divine. Texas Jess was here. I think I saw Space Face, who changed your name too. So thank you all for moderating and being such beautiful souls and helping me out and helping everybody out here as well. I do feel like your presence definitely uplifts the chat. So you are definitely just not forgotten. You are seen, you are heard. You are such a beautiful gift to me and to everyone here. And so I want to thank you guys for being here and helping to elevate the collective in your own ways as well. And guys, everything's going to get better. Whether you're in a rough spot, whether it's good, things can, I feel like, I don't know if I want to say things can always get better, but in a way, like, you can always allow the universe to use its infiniteness to find a way to make things better. So I think everything's going to get better, guys. You're welcome, Ruda, for the stories. I know I went into story mode a lot today. Much love to you as well, Be Divine. I appreciate you all. I do, by the way, before I part ways, I do offer personal readings through the link in my bio, through my website. If I didn't get to your question, or if you just feel called to that or gravitate towards that, feel free to register there. Otherwise, I'll see you here on TikTok or next week. Thanks, Shamika. I appreciate it. When am I live next? Probably this next Sunday. I'm going to be on vacation, so I'll see like how long I can jump on for, because I don't know what my situation will be. But I'm going to try for this next Sunday, maybe like 10 a.m. Central Time. Never mind, 9 a.m. Central Time, but I'm going to be in a different time zone, so it'll be 10 a.m. for me. Then I might bump these lives to a little bit later, so I'm less, like, I'm more awake when I start, if that makes sense. But this Sunday, I was going to go Thursday, but I'm going to be traveling, so. Book. Yeah, I do also have a book club. I actually started the Facebook group for a book club for this book, so I'm not trying to plug myself, but everyone's reminding me. Spirit Guides, Angels, and Speaking with Source, a channel guide to begin expanding your connection and ability to speak with and channel those of the highest light who are here for the highest good and hone your other gifts as well. I do have a Facebook group I just started for this. I have no idea how we want to go about adding people to that, but if you want to email me through the contact form on my website, and just let me know what your name is. I'll send you the link to that Facebook group if you're interested in that. And I don't know if we'll just do some Zoom meetings and like go through it or what the plan is. I haven't nailed down the details yet, but if you want to join that group on Facebook, and we're going to be doing like read-alongs and stuff with the book and just kind of going deeper into it, and I'll be channeling my guides more on like some of the meanings. So if that appeals to you, feel free to either direct message me here on TikTok or email me through my website, first link in my link tree on my bio. So you guys, thanks for the, you're welcome, Shamika. You're reading my book this weekend. Awesome. I hope it's awesome. I hope you receive the highest and best for you to receive from it. Thanks, Little Moon. I will do my best to have safe travels. You just got my book. Awesome. How is the name of the group? So the name of the group is literally like Spirit Guides, Angels, and Speaking with Source book club. And I think there's like Spirit Guides, Angels, and Speaking with Source, and it's like the vertical dash book club, I think is what it is. I was kind of like, oh, I'll pull it up on my phone and show you, but I'm clearly in the middle of something on my phone here with you guys. Thank you guys for the safe travels. Sorry, I'll answer this really quickly. Shay, just found you. Well, things work out for me and Jeff. Okay, yes, but be patient and don't force things. I think Jeff needs to come into his own realizations about the situation. in order to move forward with a clearer head, is what I'd say. So be patient, hold space. I feel like it will more than likely work out, but be patient. Sorry. Is it on audio? No, I need to. I'm thinking about this book club. It'll be we'll be reading through it. 2, I keep thinking I want to do a read through on YouTube. I haven't done that yet. 3, I'm working on getting an audiobook because I'm trying to cultivate the circumstances where I have a quiet space to record the audiobook as well. Yes, Nicole Thames, you are, and the universe is cheering you more so if you're worried about it. It's kind of just like it's almost like if there's a road with like grooves, and you need to take a turn, but like it's like a motocross track. It's like there's a dirt wall, so even if you don't turn, the wall kind of turns you. So yeah, awesome. So that's what I've got for you guys. I'm sending love. I'm asking the universe to, in the highest and best ways, bless each of your paths, mine included. Why don't I include myself in the blessing? In the highest and best ways, to show you the way, to bring more light along your path too, and to bring blessings of peace and joy, prosperity, abundance, and whatever else you'd like to see that would be for your highest good as well. So everybody, have a great day. I'm going to leave off there. I love you guys. Yeah, sorry. I need to stop. I'm sorry, guys. I need to stop right now. But you guys have a great rest of your day. I love you and appreciate you. So grateful. Everyone hanging out with here, you guys rock. It's been a really amazing energies with these lives. And yes, I know I'm like facilitating, but it's also you guys bring good energies as well through your presence here. So I'm grateful to all of you for being beautiful beings, and I will see you next week. I love you guys. All right. I'm for real signing off now. You're so welcome, guys. Bye-bye.